You spend too much time on the tools and not enough time on the application. That's how you get confused. And that's how y'all be running from reader to astrologist to this to that to you keep bouncing all around because application is the missing piece. Okay. What I mean is you have to really apply it. When you apply it, that's why all the other things that you need to really understand come out of that. Okay. So that's the main piece. So we're gonna get into just some of the details of the things that I think are extremely important for today's lesson. Like I told y'all at the beginning of the year, this year right here. Ooh, I told y'all 2024 was gonna be one of them pow years. And as we can see on all the things that has just really unfolded, it is a lot. Okay, it is a lot in a whole lot of different ways. Another one of the things that I want to touch on too when we start to talk about this Venus Jupiter conjunction, because a lot of that has a lot to do with like relationship dynamics, right? Especially when we start to just really reevaluate where we've been in our relationship energy. You know what I'm saying? From our dating past to our recent dating, and even some of y'all that are in the monthly sessions, I've given y'all relationship agreements for you guys to work on. Some of y'all have sent them in. Some of y'all are like, in a stalemate. It's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a relationship agreement course. All right. We're going to go through 4 weeks, every week, really getting into it. Hey, sugar. We're going to get into 4 weeks of really breaking down this relationship agreement with y'all so that you can understand how important this conversation is as it relates to like, what are we doing, right? What are we doing when it comes down to what are we asking for? And are we asking for the right things? You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't do the agreements and we don't really know what we want and desire, I think we out here living in our dynamics of our parents, right? We're still repeating cycles. So some of this conversation of the Venus-Jupiter connection, Jupiter-Venus conjunction is the conversation. Sweet pea. Oh my God, the baby. I love babies. So y'all gonna see me every now and then just check off from y'all, be like, hey, sugar, and then come back. Okay. That's what's keeping me grounded today. All right. But that's really extremely important. And I think it's important too, especially on the wake of all the stuff that is coming out in the situation with Sean Combs. Okay. I can no longer call him the things that we've been calling him. Every time I go to try to say the things we've been calling him, I get choked in spirit. It's, oh, don't you say that. Okay. So all these things are coming out because I'm not going to put this blame on us, right? But I also want us to understand that we have to hold some responsibility. We have to hold some responsibility because if we do not have clear terms and agreements on what we are asking for and what we are accepting, then we allow women, ourselves, to experience these traumas over and over again. And what I mean by that is, if we do not hold ourselves accountable to what we say we want, need, and desire, and when these relationship partners show up, both men and women, okay? Because some of us fluid in here, okay? So it ain't just the masculine side, it's also the masculine energy within ourselves. When we do not hold these agreements, okay, and we just bypass them and we don't check them, what we do is we put our sisters, our mothers, and other women in harm's way, okay? And this is what we're watching. We're watching how we put ourselves in harm's way. And because we have been afraid to check this at the nuts, okay, I gotta cuss y'all out and cuss me out. We have been afraid to check this. We have allowed this energy to seep in, okay? And it's time for the Kalima in us. It's time for the Lilith energy in us. The part that be like, oh, hell no, we cutting this out at the root. We're going to have to really face this in real time. So part of this conversation we're going to be having today with this Venus Jupiter conjunction is this relationship energy and this relationship agreement within ourselves so that as we move forward, right? We're in this Sag energy because we're planting seeds today. What we're planting today, we're going to see it in the future, right? So we got to check it so that we can know what we're planting and how we get there, all right? So let's get into it. Let me see. Let me call my mama because I don't see her nowhere. Do y'all see my mama? Where my mama at? Where is you, lady? Now she don't want to answer me. Now she wanna act like she don't hear me.
Hello?
Hello, where are you? Why are you not here?
I'm trying to get in.
What is trying to get in? I done sent you everything. What is it? It's asking you for the code, right?
It's asking me for the password.
Right, the password I sent you. It's Sag, it's S.
I know, but they asked me to enter it. How am I gonna enter it that on where
'Cause-
numbers at?
Because you don't call it in, Mama. I just need you to click on the link and go to the browser.
You click on the link.
Okay.
And went to whatever I thought I was supposed to go to.
No, if you clicked on the browser, it should have took you to the internet. And then when the internet pop up, it asks you for the password. You shouldn't be on the phone. It shouldn't be nothing you calling in. I think that's what you're doing two things. You calling in and you trying to go through only click on that link, that hyperlink on the text message. When you click on that hyperlink on the text message, then it's gonna ask you for the password and you put in SAS Gemini.
Well, I'm trying to do that. That's what I'm trying to do, get in. So
Okay, well, I'm gonna take you through a full class when we done, because I thought we had already went through this before, but maybe you forgot, and we're gonna go through it again, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm already starting class though, so I'm not gonna be able to help you past this point. That's why I'm calling you now.
Okay.
All right, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye. All right, let's get in. So, first things first, okay, happy full moon in Sag, okay? This is a great time, even though it is pressure. It's a lot of pressure going on, okay? What is the pressure going on? Mental health is our topic for today, okay? It's going to be one of our main course of actions because where we have Gemini is where we are philosophical, okay? It's where our mind works, okay? And because Gemini is the twins, it's immediately two energies, masculine and feminine, light and dark, okay? Up and down, side to side, whatever you need to look is polar, okay? So because it's already two energy polar, when Sagittarius comes in, now we got a whole nother polar going on. So whenever we're dealing with Sag and Gemini, it is a lot of entities and energies that we are learning to balance, okay? So when we think about the Gemini perspective, Gemini is the air sign, is the first of the air sign. It is the baby air, okay? It rules the hands, okay, and rules our duality, okay? So in this energy of now we're in this Gemini season, we're dealing with our dual energy, okay? But it also, again, rules our psychological mindset. So our mental health is also online. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay, so it's not coincidence that it is, it's just because that is the energy that we deal with. So your mental health is at play here, all right? So meaning that the balancing of those things, how we make sure that we are balancing our mental health is by making sure that you're doing things that keep you in alignment to that. What is that? Your gifts and your talents, okay? Things you do with your hands, your writing skills, okay? Your art skills, whatever it is that you do with your hands. If you do hair, you decorate, you style clothes, if you work out, you know what I'm saying, Suki? Whatever the things that we do with our hands, okay, is how we balance out this Gemini energy. Now, it's going to be extremely important because it's such an intense time, this energy, that you are doing your gifts and talents. So doing just one of them is not going to be enough this season, okay? Because not only are we going to be talking about this Gemini Sag energy today, we're also going to be talking about this lineup of the 6 planets, right? That's making this straight line that's in Gemini that's going to happen on June 3rd. So all these energies are coming in alignment because out of any other year, you may have put your gifts and talents on the back burner, like, oh, I'm going to just focus on this or focus on that. This year, you're not able to do that. You have to focus on them all. When I mean focus on them all, I mean like they're going to come in at certain times. And when they come in, give them some time, okay? It's okay to jump around like, ooh, over here, ooh, over there. That's okay, because that's what Gemini is. Gemini is very, liking to have the attention of multiple things. So your gifts and talents are going to show up in ways in where it may make you feel like you are bouncing all around the place, but that is great. It's great because that's how creativity starts, right? That's how we brainstorm. That's how we make things come online. So do not deny these parts of yourselves as you start to see yourself jump around and wanting to do different things. This is all your gifts and talents starting to come online, especially some of those things that you may or may not have given time and attention to, okay? Now, the reason why I say mental health is extremely important, because when you find yourself denying yourself, your mental health is going to be the one that you're going to notice. Because what's going to happen then is that if you're not focusing on yourself and all the many things that you can do, you start to go outside, okay? You start to compare yourself to all these other things, right? Oh, I want to do that, but I can't because they got all these followers. Oh, I would love to do that, but I can't do that because, you know what I'm saying, they've been doing it longer than me. Whatever you need to do to deny yourself is what's going to happen when you do not allow yourself, okay? Either you're going to deny or allow. If you do not allow yourself to dabble and dibble in all the different things that you know make you happy, or the things that can bring you online, you'll find yourself picking and judging other things, including yourself, but also judging on the outside, okay? Why do we judge? Why does this in the polar opposite energy of Gemini, which is Sagittarius, judge? Because that's the gauge. The gauge is, I want to do this, but I don't know. They look like they ain't doing it right, so I don't know if I do it right. Why is that? Because the Sagittarius energy is supposed to come in and be the teacher, okay? So part of being the teacher is allowing yourself to fail sometimes, okay? And do things and do it wrong, okay? Test it out. So this is a good testing period. So brainstorming, testing things out, seeing what you can and what you cannot do, what you like and what you don't like, is the theme of this entire season, okay? It's also the theme of today. You find yourself frustrated, I can guarantee you frustrated because you ain't tried something you've been wanting to try, and you have not given it time or energy because you don't think you're great at it. You don't think you're good enough, okay? Meanwhile, it's people out here doing the silliest of things and making the most money that they've never made in their life because they decide to try something. So if you don't learn nothing else, try. This is a season of, and y'all know I don't even like try, but we're gonna put it in there for Gemini, okay? Look how pliable I am. You see, y'all see me bending? And y'all know I don't bend on the try word, okay? But I'm willing to let y'all try it out, okay? Test it out and see how your wings can expand during this season, okay, of testing and trying. So now we think about too, how these two aspects will come together. One of the things that I think is extremely important to balancing out your mental health as it relates to Sagittarius energy as well is daily practice, okay? So meaning that if you have been slacking on your daily practices, daily practice can be first 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, meditation for yourself, okay? Setting the tone of your day. Intention is very important. Why? Because the mind wanders, okay, all over the place. It picks and chooses where it can go. But if you give it a direction, then it tends to go in the direction, and then it picks and chooses in that direction. So this is also where you're going to find yourself or feel yourself saying, I need to get back on my my detoxing. I need to get back on my regimen of working out. I need to get back on my writing. I need to get back on, for me, for singing. If y'all been watching my story in the last couple of days, I've been singing more than I done sung in the last year or two. Why is that? Because Gemini and Sagittarius won't let me not do it, to the point to where, with my little, look, I done when your girl done went got her some these little baby mics, you know what I'm saying? And so I can increase my sound and all kind of stuff. I'm going in there. I'm just, and what is this? Y'all see this too? Now it's only one of me. Technically, it's two in there, but we're gonna focus. But I got one for the Gigi y'all talking to now, and one for the Gigi that wanna pop up and sing when she wanna pop up and sing. You see what I'm saying? Duality. Be dual, okay? Again, where you are dual, where you allow yourself to test these things, mental health is you're gonna find your way of balancing out, okay? Now, let's get into some of this. Let me pull up some of the astrology stuff for y'all. Hold on a minute. Share my screen. All right. So this is what that beautiful moon and Sag energy looks like today. As y'all can see, it's all on the top. You know what I'm saying? We all between is Aries. Still got some few Aries stuff going on. It's mostly like the Chiron and all that kind of stuff. But most of this is Taurus, Gemini, you know, and we just had that beautiful Scorpio moon yesterday that was wrapping up the season and kind of getting us through this whole conversation of what we've been having with ourselves over the last 30, 45 days. And most of it has been relationship dynamics, you know what I'm saying, of all kinds, not just the relationship energy of love and companionship, which is what Venus really deals with. Again, we're going to talk about Venus and Jupiter today. But that conversation, but it's also been really heavy cycles on relationship energy. You know what I'm saying? Friendships too. Why? Because a part of the reason why y'all haven't been really, or we haven't been really tapped into our gifts and talents is because we've been around the wrong people. What I mean, been around the wrong people, you've been feeding and giving your energy to people who have not been giving that back to you. Why? Because we people pleasers. We are recovering addicts of people pleasing, okay? And because we have been in recovery, part of this cycle energy that we've been dealing with is seeing that real time and coming to grips with how that is, how we show up on that, okay? So now we moved out of that realization of, I need to put me first. I need to get back on my gifts and talents. I've been want to do these things. I need to get into these things, and realizing that some of the people that you had around you too, they was also people pleasing too. I'm not saying that you're the only one people pleasing. In order for you to be a people pleaser with other people that have been allowing you to do that, because they've been also people pleasing and letting you do it, okay? And vice versa. We've been letting them lie to us because we've been lying to them, okay? So we all been in this big smorgasbord of energy of time to clear it up and clear it out, okay? So now we start to pull all these things in together today. It is about the expansion, because Sagittarius energy, which is the oldest of the fire signs, has everything to do with Jupiter. It is expansion, okay? So we are in a period of expansion. We are in a period of sowing new seeds to make sure that when we get to Sagittarius season, we are seeing the fruit of our labor as it relates to all of our gifts and talents. So all this brainstorming I'm asking y'all to do, all this randomness of Gemini and bouncing back and forth and ooh, I like, ooh. By the time we get to the end of the year, you should see tangible results, as in what you're going to take into 2025 that's going to be very lucrative for you. What I mean is, some of the things you're doing right now is not going to make it. Not going to make it to the end of the year. The reason why it's not going to make it, because it is also a part of the cycle that you are breaking, okay? So time passages. We've gone through this. This is your main tool, main resource. I want you guys to use it every single day. So when I make the post, and I'm sharing the daily things on Instagram. If you guys don't know, on Instagram, every single day, I do the astro reports, okay? It's just me breaking down what are the things that are dealing with the moon energy for the day, and also me pointing out the things that are the most important as it relates. Or can y'all hear me okay? I just got a notification that it said something about my internet is unstable.
It did freeze a little bit, but it came back.
Okay, but are y'all able to hear me clearly? In the freeze, did you not hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So in this whole energy, right, of time passes, I'm sharing that every day because I'm getting y'all more familiar and comfortable with y'all also being able to tap into time passes. So even though I'm giving y'all the moon report, which is the first part one, part two is the energy that you need to pay the most close attention to as it relates to the chart that's going on. I expect you guys to then go into your part of the chart, your part of your time passages, and see how all that stuff is lining up with you. Okay, so let's just run through it really quickly. So we're gonna run through it as if we're just going through this thing together for the day. That's how we're gonna start this off, right? So when I go into time passages, I always look at this, right? I always look at where the moon phase is, and I also look at when it's going to change, okay? That's important because it lets me know how close we are to the void of course, okay? Void of course moon is just when the moon is starting to go through a period of change and it's moving. There's a stale energy of, you know what I'm saying, things not necessarily going as planned, okay? So even though the moon may be in a particular position, once they get into that void, usually most astrologists or most people who really know about voids, we don't really do any major works during those time periods, because if you set a contract or you set a plan to do something, the chances are it may change, okay? Why? Because the void is a whole slew of possibilities, ups and downs, all kind of things. It's very Gemini energy or very airy energy when we come into it. So I always look at that. And then I'll also look into the current chart, right? So I'll go into it, just kind of see where the aspects are. Planets, we already kind of know what those, but if you want to know what the planets are, that's how you click into. Let me go to full screen. All right, so I'll go into it and just kind of look at from the chart, from the, this is in my way, okay? I know y'all can't see it, but I can. So from this screen right here, you go into it, see where the moon is. I always start off looking at what the energy is. So today the moon is in Sagittarius. You can see it's talking about it's in 8 degrees. Will you please get out of the way? All right. The moon is in Sagittarius, and this is the part that you want to pay a close attention to too, as well. The degrees of where the moon is. Why? Because every sign has 30 degrees before it changes. How something acts at the first 10 degrees and how it acts the last 10 degrees is completely different, okay? When the sign is coming into something, it's bringing into something new, there is almost like a brand new baby energy to it. So anything that's between 0 and 10, like I told y'all before, is very like getting to know yourself, getting to know this aspect. When you go from 10 to 20, it is very teenager, okay? It's like, I know it, not enough to teach it, but I still know it, okay? When they get into the 20 to the last degree, especially like from 20 to 28 degree, it's more mature. So it's the mature side of the sign. Now, when it gets to the very last degree, 29, point something and getting ready to change, it starts to get very turbulent because anytime we get ready to, go from one sign to the next, there's a period of turbulence that happens, okay? Almost like if we are getting ready to land the plane, all right? You feel a little bit of a jolt before you go into the next sign. So this is extremely important because now, even though the moon is full, it's at 8 degrees, right? So how does an 8-year-old act? Look at these degrees as ages. How does an 8-year-old act? Okay, y'all that got babies, or those of us who got children, okay? 8-year-old is at the point that now every 7 years, something tends to change. Like meaning our entire body resurfaces every organ in every 7 years, right? But on the 8th year, it becomes new again. So at 8 degrees, it's still very immature, okay? So now we're talking about the immaturity of moon and Sag, okay? Now, what did we say moon and Sag was? Sag is fire sign. It's the oldest of the fire sign, but in its, immature states, it is very judgmental. In its mature states, it is not upholding its daily regimen and the daily practices, okay? In its mature states, it is not comfortable with teaching. It's still in a learning phase, okay? So it is avoiding everything. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it, okay? So when you look at it, it's telling you today, you and everyone around you will be feeling the need to wander and to be a free spirit, okay? There's an impulsive and restless quality to your instincts, and you will likely try finding out if the grass is greener elsewhere, okay? Exploring emotions is another major theme today, and you'll do this in many contexts. It is also possible that you feel connected to your beliefs and opinions in a protective way. That's the level of immaturity, okay? So what I mean is, even though you may have knowledge and information, you may have a book that gives you the details that what you believe is wrong, you still will want to fight about it, you know what I'm saying, or argue about it or judge it, you know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's at 8 degrees, it's still learning. And part of learning, right, you ever try to teach a baby something new? Even though you older, that baby like, no, mama, that's B. That's not A, that's B, right? So it's this level of kind of like being on the space of charging yourself by knowing the knowledge of it, okay? So this energy of your daily routines and your responsibilities, even though you know it's things that you need to do, right? You are going away from that. That is a natural response of an 8-year-old Sagittarius energy on the full moon in Sag. So even though the moon is full, it don't mean it's old or it's aged, okay? So this also lends itself to what I was saying to y'all earlier, your mental health issues. Everybody have mental health issues. We all have them. So if you sitting on in this class and thinking that you don't have some form of mental health, baby, as your astrologist/mental health therapist, I'm sad to tell you that you do, okay? We all do. That's what we're here to learn. Your creative talents is going to help you through that. So if you find yourself not wanting to do your responsibilities and your domestic routine, because as soon as I get off here with y'all, I'm cleaning this house up, okay? I made me a floor wash 3 moon cycles ago. It's time for me to strain that thing, clean these floors, and do some stuff. Now, I was supposed to do it earlier. It was on my agenda to do it earlier, but you know what I did? I laid down and took me a nap. I did the baby thing. I did the 8-year-old thing. You hear what I'm saying? Learn to lean into these things and not judge yourself, beat up on yourself. Because when you do that, not only do you beat up on yourself, you beat up on everything around you, everybody around you, okay? So going into this every single day, whether or not you get a chance to check my daily reports out or not, I need y'all to check what the moon is. You need to check what the moon is, and you need to pay attention to that degree. Because even though the moon is going to be in Sag tomorrow, it's not going to be at 8 degrees tomorrow, okay? It's probably going to be in the 14, 15 degree tomorrow. It's going to be the teenager. So tomorrow's going to be acting out a little bit more, but different, okay? So check this every single day because it's also going to help you to balance what it is, okay? Now, then we come out of here, right? We know the sun is in Gemini, but let's just talk about it a little bit, okay? When the sun is in Gemini, especially in the beginning of the period, because it is at 3 degrees, right? How does a 3-year-old baby, how does a 3-year-old Gemini baby? I just told y'all Gemini is 2 signs, it's 2 people. So it's masculine and feminine, it's light and dark. Let's focus on the light and dark side of it for the mental health part, okay? So light and dark of Gemini is being happy one minute and being pissed off the next. Okay, it's being everything. Oh, I'm fine. I'm happy with everything. And then the next minute, causing hell. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody stole your bike and done everything. You So now we're at 3 degrees Gemini with an 8-year-old Sagittarius. So how do y'all think that energy is supposed to go? See, a lot of y'all have high expectations on things and people, and I'm telling you right now that the universe is giving us all the math. If y'all watch the Terrence Howard 3-hour conversation interview, that thing was good. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is all math. This is all vibrational math that we're playing with, that we're inside of, and your body is feeling it. So if you don't know the math, you don't know the numbers, you don't know what your mental health is doing. Again, this is a mental health conversation we're having. And if you do not know what's going on, then now you are swayed, you're thrown left and right, and you don't know how to tap into the tools. You're not going to know how to tap into the tools. But when you look at it and like, oh, the math is at 3 degrees Gemini. Oh, well, I need to go get me some canvas and some coloring books. Oh, I need to go outside and just do a little jog real quick. You do whatever the 3-year-old in you allows you to do until you get back into the balance, until you get back into mental health balance so you can do other things, okay? Now, the sun spends about 30 days in each sign, which we know, right? So that the cycle of the 12 signs define our year. With sun and Gemini, especially in the beginning of this period, there's a good sense of process, of communication as the glue of community, all right? It's all psychological. The earth is emerging from her winter slumber and everyone is more joyful and more talkative because it's air, okay? Gemini like to talk, it's mental air, and it's ruled by Mercury. So because it's ruled by Mercury, 2 signs ruled by Mercury, Gemini and Virgo, right? So it wants to talk, right? And when it is, it's learning is the key, and the subject list is unlimited. The world is filled with wonder, and we all want to know more about it. Curiosity that leads to learning and intelligence. So the more you allow yourself to go, ooh, I'm 3-year-old today. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that no more. I'm going to go over here and do that. Allow yourself to do that because intelligence, right? The math is going to math if you allow your intelligence to just brainstorm, all right? Now, we go into from that perspective, then I'll be like, okay, part 2, right? So then I go on part 2. The part 2 comes in the current chart. And you go into the current chart. Then at the bottom part here of this TimePassages app, it asks you, do you want the chart? Which is what we're looking at. This is what the real chart looks like. So when astrologers look at your stuff, this is exactly what we look at. But because y'all don't know what these little symbols are, when I tell y'all to pull y'all chart up, I be wanting y'all to look at this part right here, because this right here is more clear. This is the clarity. This is what this right here is actually saying. What all this is saying is this right here, okay? This part. Now, when we start to get into the details of how this energy is actually moving, the aspects show us how it moves. So when I give y'all part 2, I give y'all this, but I focus on the strong aspects. Now, it's not that the medium aspects are not happening and the weaker aspects, they are happening. They're just not as strong in the chart, okay? You want to focus on what is the strongest. Now, what I talked about this morning was the Venus conjunct in Jupiter, because these other last couple of days, these transits here have already been in the chart. So I already talked about those. But the one that is sticking out the strongest for today is this Venus conjunct in Jupiter. Now, Sun conjunct in Venus is also a little bit in there too, right? Because it's still on that same degree. But the energy that I told y'all about, the relationship dynamics, why we got to be able to stand up and say the things that we need to say in relationships, so that we are making sure that we are protected, and our sisters and our mothers and our aunties and the women in our lives are protected, and vice versa. It's because of this energy here, right? It's because we have to do better. We give birth to the men, okay? We are giving birth to everything, men and women. We're giving birth. So if something needs to change, we got to stop looking out and wondering where it ain't gonna change out there. It's gonna change in here first, okay? So this is what we started talking about. This is what I brought up in conversation for our part 2, but we're gonna go into that as well. What'd you say, Brandy? Okay, I think that was an accident. I don't think she was trying to say nothing to me. All right, so this is the focus. Now, y'all don't have to worry about what part y'all need to focus on the most, because I'm gonna tell y'all every day. All you gotta do is go into your current aspects and do more reading about it. Go back in there and look at that thing a little bit more. And then when you go from that point, and I go through, be like, oh, this is what the chart is doing for everybody today. Then what I want you to do then is go and look at your stuff. Okay, now how do you go to your chart? From that main screen at the bottom of the app, your name should be down there. If you put your stuff in there, your name should be down there, okay? Now, if you've been working with me every month and you do not have your chart stored into your TimePassages, shame on you. But because Sagittarius is at 8 degrees and Gemini's at 3 degrees, I'm not gonna judge you. I want to say all the things to you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna fuss. I'm not gonna fuss about it. Just make sure it happens ASAP. Okay. What you're gonna do is put your information in there. And I also advise you to put anybody's information in there that you are activating a relationship agreement with. Okay. This can be your mama. This could be your sister, brother, anybody you want to strengthen the relationship with. Put their charts on your TimePassages. The reason why is because now you can not only look at what you got going on for the day, you can look at everybody else's. You can start to see now the people around you, what they got going on. So when they come in and they pop off, before you choke them out, you know what I'm saying, grab them by the throat, you can be like, wait a minute, let me go back and look at their TimePassages and see what is going on over there. Because how is they Mercury? What aspects they having? Because I don't want to choke them if they're just having a bad day. Okay? It's going to let you know where they are. But first, look at yours. Don't focus on anybody else till you look at yours. You click on yours, and then when you click on your name at the bottom, I clicked on Gigi, you're going to go into your daily horoscope, okay? When you go into your daily horoscope, it's going to give you today's astrological influence. Now, look at all this stuff I got going on. You see what I'm saying? Now, today is not the day that you want to step on me. Today is not the day. This is not the day you want to go over and poke the bear. Do not poke the bear, okay? Because I got too much going on. My mental health, I'm just like, ooh, it's all over the place. But lucky for me, I know how to go into my talents. That's why y'all been getting that singing today. That's why I've been singing to y'all more today than any day, because it's been running through me. I've been feeling so much outside pressure. I've been hearing so many things. Some of my gifts of clairvoyance is starting to get so loud, y'all. Like I'm hearing, people say things. I'm starting to feel certain things hit my body. And I'm like, where is all this coming from? But I know it's because all of our gifts are coming online. It ain't just mine. All of y'all are hearing stuff. I know if I'm over here hearing things and spirits starting to show up and my dreams are off the chain. I've been sharing my dreams with y'all for the last 3 weeks. Them things have been something serious, okay? It ain't just happening to me. We are all special, okay? We all have different types of clairvoyance. Now, if you ask me, I think we all have them. They just came online to my, oh, there are 6, 7 different types of clairvoyance. That is a lie. It's more than that, okay? They're going to only tell you what they want to tell you. I feel like there's a whole lot of different gifts that we haven't even talked about yet that are starting to come online. But y'all are starting to feel these things, okay? Because a lot of the the fog, a lot of the things that have been used to keep us away from ourselves is starting to fall off. Truth is starting to come out. This is a year of truth and transparency. So with that, your gifts, the ones that you prayed away when you was a child, the ones you like, ooh, this is too much. It's coming back online. The one we've been using alcohol and excessive weed and all other kind of drugs to kind of tone that stuff down. All that's coming back online. Okay. So because that is the only thing that's going to save you is not those things. Okay. Drugs, alcohol, avoidance, other people, people pleasing, all the things that we have been doing for the last however old you are. It's not going to work this time. Okay. The only thing that's going to work is you got to tap in because that's what's going to save you. And today's conversation of this mental health and this 3-year-old and this 8-year-old and all this energy coming through is saying, remember yourself, remember who you are. And in order for you to do that, you have to believe the dreams. You have to believe the talents and stuff that's coming up. It's not coming up for a reason. It's trying to help you save yourself so that you can stop trying to use all this outside influence that you think is going to work. It's not going to work. Okay. These are all of mine. All right. Now, when you look at these, the ones you want to pay attention to the most, these squares, these oppositions are extremely strong because squares are a conflict. Okay. It's some type of conflict. So let's look at mine. Okay. Let's look at my square, right? The transiting sun is in a strong square with the natal moon. All right. The planetary energies conflict, internal and creative tensions bring rich rewards through efforts over time. Your energy of your conscious mind illuminates your emotional awareness over these days in a most comfortable blend that can also be challenging. Okay. The moon symbolizes feelings, your home and family, and your unconscious mind. So understand that this is a conflict that's going on, right? Internal conflict, but it's getting me to pull out my creativity. So that's what I'm saying. The mental health issues that are coming up, the pressures that you feel, the things that you've been wanting to do and haven't been able to do, the reason why there's a pressure happening, especially if you got some squares going on, is so that you would draw to your talent. You would draw to your creative energy, the ones that have been dormant, the ones that you have masked with the people pleasing, the ones that you have masked with these incorrect relationship agreements, the ones that you have masked with all kinds of different stuff that's been going on. Okay. So know that when you go and look at your transits for the day is extremely important because it's going to allow you to see where you are, where you have squares. Now, we go down and look to oppositions are another one. Now, of course, I got other squares. I got sun square, got moon square Saturn, which is moon is emotions, square is the internal conflict, Saturn is discipline, right? So not allowing my emotions to get in the way of my discipline. So that's why I told y'all when I get off this phone with y'all, I'm cleaning this house. I'm cleaning these floors. Okay. I have to do it because if I don't, then I'm letting my emotions square me to the point to where I'm not staying on top of my discipline. Okay. Venus, also in a square with my natal moon. Now, the Venus perspective is values, it's money, it is relationship situations, all those things in a square with the emotions. So now, like I told y'all, all the things that I've been hearing, right? The things I've been feeling inside of me are coming up because I have to face that. I have to internally face those things and see what I have been ignoring, the times in my life where I have been in relationships and instead of me saying something, I just left the situation. You know what I'm saying? Or I made it seem like it was all right when it wouldn't. That's not okay. The reason why it's not okay is because if I left a situation not upholding my own boundary, and I let somebody believe that what happened was okay, then that gave them the permission to do it to somebody else. So I got to deal with that. I got to deal with all the times in my life where I have wanted to keep peace and not want to tell the truth because I didn't want it to blow up to be something. No, Callie don't care about blowing up the spot. Okay, Lilith don't care about cutting heads off. We don't care about that. We have to understand that the dark feminine is necessary, just like the Eve type is necessary. Lilith is necessary as well. So the blend of these things and how these things come online for us, okay? So these conversations are extremely important. Now, when we get into opposition, Mars is movement. Opposition is mirror reflection, okay? So whenever you see opposition, I want you to picture that you are standing in the mirror having a conversation with yourself, okay? About what? Now, for me, my movement, I'm standing in the mirror having a conversation with myself about why my movement is being affected, because I am unwilling to change. Okay, Pluto is our change, right? So you'll see when you click on it, it's even giving you a range, or giving me a range. So from May 21st to May 26th, the conflicts or the planetary energies are polarized. Outer events stimulate their interactions. Integration is the challenge. Conflicts may come up for you during this relative brief period of time. During this approximate week-long transit, your assertion and goal-directed activity will likely be subject to some drastic stresses for the purpose of bringing to light the inner workings of repressed impulses you may have in these areas. Now, what did I just say? All the times when I have attempted to keep the peace because I didn't want to challenge the status quo, or I didn't want to cause a problem, I'm causing a problem elsewhere. If I don't want to confront it, then who am I passing this off to? Because you are passing it off to somebody. Again, we all connected. So even though you don't deal with it, if you letting your sister deal with it, is that fair? It's not really fair how we've been allowing other women to deal with these problems. Well, I don't want to deal with them, so let somebody else deal with them. Okay, that's fine. Let somebody else deal with him or her, but you need to check them on the door on the way out, so that as they're trying to go outside, that energy that you just doused them with is all over their vibration. So now when they show up, your sister can recognize it. All right, the people in your life can recognize it. It's important for them to see that about themselves, whether they agree or disagree with it. You are in that person's life to bring that about. All right, they're in your life for you to also to bring about some things about you. So all these astrological influence that you feel on a daily basis are for you and all the people that you're connected to, including me. When y'all show up for y'all sessions and y'all don't do the work, that affects me. It affects me because we're in this together. So if you don't do the work, what is that saying? That's saying one or two things. Either I need to confront you, or either you need to confront me. So that means what are we doing here? We're in a relationship. We are in this back and forth thing. And in this back and forth thing, we're here to learn from each other and challenge each other so that we can be better. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't even be here. Y'all wouldn't even be in class. Why do y'all keep coming to class? You keep coming to class because you want to be better. Why do I keep doing the class? Because I want to be better. I am being better. We are being better, right? So understand that looking at this stuff every single day, I am expecting you as terms and agreements of our relationship moving forward. I am holding you accountable and responsible for you looking at your astrological influences every single day, so you know how to move, and so you know what needs to be checked inside of you and checked inside of the people that you have said yes to, the relationship you said yes to. Okay, this is going to help our mental health. It's going to also help us to tap into our gifts and talents, because when you are checking yourself and checking the energy that's coming in, now you are leveling up. Everything that we're doing this year, the reason why we're asking for truth and transparency is because we're going into a new dimension. The new dimension is living in truth and transparency. You don't have to hide no more. You got those gifts and talents. You got, all these beautiful clairvoyance skills that you got. You're psychic. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hide from that anymore. You do witchery and magic. You don't have to hide that no more, okay? So now it's bringing all your gifts and talents online. You are multi-dimensional and you are multi-talented. Why are we only staying in one lane? Get out of that one lane. Stretch yourself out. Allow yourself to see all the many things that you are, okay? So when you look at these things, study them, go into them and look at them, and then make notes if you have to, so that when you do make the notes and you come out for your day, then you'll know where it is that you need to now start to apply, okay? All right, any questions about time passages? Raise your hand. Going once. Going twice. Going three times? Okay. Hey, Brandy.
Hi. So I wanted to ask, so when you said going looking for it daily, are we looking at all of that?
If you got all of it, yes.
Okay.
I want you to pay the closest attention to these right now. Let me tell you something. I don't have this every day. Okay. I got it today though. I got it today. And the reason why I have it today is because of the amount of energy that I am dealing with as it relates to Gemini and Sagittarius and all the other transits that are going on. Okay. Now, some days I look at this and it's only 2 or 3 there. Some days I look and it's only 1, right? But today's energy, right? How much do you have on yours? Are you looking at yours right now?
I'm driving at the same time, but I thought like that's how much it was on a daily basis. But now I know.
No,
It's different every day. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Because you have to understand that these transits that you're looking at are changing, okay? Meaning like when these signs change, then these sextiles, these squares, they change. So you don't have the same every day. Even if you're looking at the daily reports that I post on IG, notice that some days in that box at the top, some days it's 4 up there, some days it's 5, some days it's 3, because energy is constantly moving. And because when it is constantly moving, these transits are going to change. So what I'm giving you is what we need to pay attention to the most in the world chart. So when I go, because this right here is mine. But if I go back to just the current chart and I pull up this one from the main page. So when you go directly into your app and you go to current chart and click on the asterisk at the bottom, so you see how these say strong right here. Some of these things I already talked about. I talked about 3 days ago. Okay. I talked about when Gemini first changed and the sun changed. We immediately talked about Sun trine Pluto. Immediately. Why? Because when Pluto came and when Sun switched to Gemini, that conversation of being in Gemini and Pluto being in Aquarius, in that conversation, and Pluto's in retrograde, then I know this story is still evolving on what you've been needing to do since January. Right. But now Gemini is starting to alert that energy, and now your mental health is starting to be affected. So whatever you've been resisting to change, the mental health is starting to be the topic, right? Really be the topic. Even though the whole month is Mental Health Awareness Month, when that Gemini came in, because Gemini rules the mind, psychological, right? Then that psychological thing, that button started being pressed by Pluto, like boom, boom, boom. You ain't changed this. And then as long as it pressing the button, that perspective of that whole Pluto dynamic is also dealing with the world, right? So the energy of Sean Combs came out in this week. That video we saw came out in the week when Gemini shifted, right? Because that was part of the conversation. Now, what have we been ignoring? What have we not believed when women said that they have been abused? We asked, well, what did you do, right? Whatever came up. This showed up because we all have a voice in some form as it relates to our social perspectives or what it is that we need to have a voice on, okay? So these things change. They change for the daily chart, and they also change for what you got in your chart every day, okay? So you don't have to focus on the world chart unless you want to, because I'm going to bring those out. What I want you to focus on, and Suki, I see your hand up, so I'm going to get to you right after this, okay? But what I want you to focus on more so is your stuff. Go into your stuff, go from your name to your daily horoscope, and then look at your today's astrological influence. And if you say, Gigi, I don't have the time to sit there. I looked at my chart and I had 12 placements for the day. I didn't have time to go through 12. Well, I want you to focus on the ones that's going to cause you the most problems. And the ones going to cause you the most problems are your squares, because those are your internal conflicts. So that's where you're going to go off on yourself and others. And also your oppositions. Your opposition is the mirror reflection. We hate that mirror. Ooh, we hate that mirror. Oh my God. You're like, ooh, I do not want to see that. Is that me? Because the mirror is reflecting something back to you. Okay, so you want to look at your opposition, because your opposition is where you may be resistant to seeing the in depth that you really need to see inside of yourself. Okay, you got me, Brandy?
I got you.
All right, Suki. Question.
Hi, dear. Quick question. I just downloaded the app and I wanted to know for the house calculation, is it whole sign, natural, equal house?
So it's going to start off on Placidus, is where it's going to put you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at Placidus, because Placidus is going to give you that boom, 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 boom. Most of the charts that we're looking at from the world perspective are going to start off with Placidus. But if you want to go into even more calculation, like you're like, okay, well, I want to dig in a little bit deeper and look at the other aspect, That's why I love
Yeah.
this app. Because this app gives
Okay.
everything.
Okay. Okay.
Everything. Okay.
All right.
And even
Thank
if
you.
you're welcome. And even if you're not clear about something too, if you're like, well, I am not clear about the differences, right? At the bottom of this app too, if you click on learn, it's going to give you the difference, okay, of all the stuff that you need to learn, okay? So if you want to see the differences of it, it's going to help you there. General terms, apparent motions, elements and modes, houses, moon phases, planetary bodies, even though we don't really go into in-depth in planetary bodies per se, but if you want to get into some of the other asteroids and those things, everything is here, okay? If you just want to get more familiar with the signs, because what we deal with in I Am Living a Line is I deal with more of the basics. The reason why I deal with more of the basics is because if you don't know the difference between Aries and Libra, why are we talking about sequence and all these other angles? Why? You don't know what it means, okay? So you got to spend time just learning the basics of what it is, how to apply the basics, so that then you can start to get into the other sign calculations. You can start to get into the deeper parts of math. If you don't know how to add, multiply, subtract, we don't need to be talking about calculus, okay? Not gonna make sense.
Can you touch on conjunction real quick
You sure
and just
can.
say what that means?
Yes, ma'am. How about we use the app and get into it, right? So from the
My
learn,
point
right?
exactly.
From learn, right? You want to go into aspects, okay? If you go into aspects, all of the aspects are here, okay? So you said conjunction or opposition. Which one did you say? Conjunction? Conjunction. So if you go into conjunction, it'll even tell you that the difference between some of these are major aspects and some of these are minor aspects, okay? So the major aspects is what we focus on. So every single day on IG, I am focusing on major aspects, because major aspects is exactly what it's saying. It is major. Okay, minor aspects don't mean that it's not important. They are important too. But majorly, you need to at least know what is happening, and then you can go into in-depth in the other part, okay? What is a conjunction? Conjunction is in a major aspect that is happening within, in and around the same degree. So when we say Venus is conjunct Jupiter, right? That means they are within the same degree, plus or minus 1 or 2. Like that means if Venus is at 10 degrees, then that means Jupiter is at either 10, 11, or 12. It's right there with it. So that means they are having a conversation. They're in the same room. They are sitting at the same desk. You know how we just be in class and getting ready to take a test and be like, girl, what you got on your paper? Be like, ooh, I don't know. And then we share notes. That's what a conjunction is. We are in the room sharing notes. We're talking back and forth. All right. Why is this important? Because when signs come together in conjunction, it's a compilation of energy. Everything is, you have to look at it now as being stacked up. Okay. So conjunctions are also extremely important. And depending on what type of conjunction they are, what energies are in conjunction, it could be extremely major to how your output of the day is going to be. Okay. So that's where you go. So again, anything you want to learn. So when you start to look at your aspects and you see that you're having a major aspect, you're like, well, I don't know what that word in the middle means. You go right there to that aspect and click on whatever it is. Now you want to, again, the ones that's going to show up the most are either going to be conjunctions, oppositions, trines, square, or sextile. But when you go into the other calculations of your chart, this is where you'll start to see your minor aspects show up, okay? Your inconjuncts, your quintiles, your semisextile. All those are just degrees in between. Again, all of this is math, okay? This is really the geometry that you should have learned when you was in high school. If they really wanted you to know yourself, okay, they don't. And the reason why they don't is because you are listed and always will be listed as a child to the states, okay? That way they can have more jurisdiction over you. But if you were seen as a growing human spirit and were given the responsibility of that, when you got to 9th and 10th grade and they started teaching you geometry, they would have taught you geometry based on these angles and these squares. You would have learned what that conjunction was in geometry. Not only that, not only would you have, they would have gave you your birth natal chart and be like, this is geometry that we're about to learn. Now, I taught my nieces geometry using their chart, not just their chart. I also told them to get their boyfriend's chart at the time. And I was like, y'all finna learn y'all boyfriends, okay? Now your moon and your boyfriend moon has a trine to it. What does that mean? What does that energy mean? Well, let's go to it. What is a trine? Okay. A trine is 120 degree, reflects planets in harmony, alignment. So when you got a trine with somebody, it's almost like we soulmates. Oh, we the same person. We are really in love. You know what I'm saying? That's how I try and make you feel like the connection is beneficial, baby. And I don't want to let it go, right? But I taught them this is how I got them to pass geometry. Because I knew if I brought their boyfriends in and one of my niece's girlfriend, when I bring this energy in, this is how you're going to really study that, because now you can go to school and you can floss, right? Now you can flex on your teacher because now you know something that your teacher don't know. And this is the part of what we should have known. This is the ancestry energy that we should have known, okay? So use your learn tools to get deeper into when you start to see your aspects come together in different things. This is how you're going to see it, okay? Any other question about time passages? All right. Great. So if there's no other questions about time passages, what we're going to do now is I want to pull up. This right here is another beautiful tool that I want you guys to get used to using too. Okay. Now this is Moonseek. All right. You go and literally type in moon, or you can type in astro.seek.com too. But astroseek.com is where you start to also get into a little bit even more conversation about like the moon. So if you like, I want to see what a moon is going to be for, I don't know, for the next couple of months, right? If you go into it, right? It's going to give you the output for today. You go in and put in change your time zone, but it's not only going to give you where the phase are. I'm going to click on the chart so that it'll break into it. What I love about this is because y'all know I'm a microbiologist as well, right? Y'all know that's what I went to school for, and that's what I spend most of my time in the hospital lab testing all of y'all fluids. So your blood, your man's semen, your urine, all kind of nastiness. Okay, we can get into that thing. The microbiology world, which I think is so beautiful now. And I think about how the universe is just taking me through all these different sectors of life. How astrology also correlates to your body. Okay, it is the body system as well. One of the things I think is extremely important is this right here, right? The organs that are influenced by the current Sagittarius moon cycle, right? So this happens every time the moon changes. It lets you know organs, liver. The liver is the main thing that is affected by Sagittarius, okay? Liver, the thigh bone, tailbone, hip muscles, hip joint, lumbar vertebrae, and the lumbar muscle. So if you're feeling any issues as it relates to that, okay, you know what I'm saying? Then you know that's coming from your out of balance Sagittarius energy. You see how that works? You see how the universe takes all the opportunity to let you know what you need to work on, even when you don't want to work on it. Even when you like, I don't want to go to time passages a day. Then all of a sudden you start having some liver issues. You know what I'm saying? You have breakouts, or you're not digesting well. You know what I'm saying? All that is coming from liver, or your upper thighs start to ache. You know what I'm saying? You go to the gym and you try to stretch them thighs out and they start hurting for you a little bit. Yeah, you can still go to the gym, but them thighs still gonna hurt, because if you are avoiding doing that Sagittarius work, you still gonna feel it. It's not gonna help you if you don't know what you need to work on. So looking at this aspect, going to your moon calendar.astro/seek.com. I'll put it in your replay email, so you can know how to put this as another resource. These are all resources that your girl used. So I'm giving y'all my secrets. I've been giving them to you. I ain't gonna never not give it to you, because I want you to have this for yourself. I don't want y'all I wish when y'all come to me, we're having a conversation about what we're doing together. Okay. This is what this is about, because you've already done the studying. So this is how you know how these things are showing up for you. Okay. And when you start to plan out your month, you can go through all you gotta do is scroll down. It's going to give you every moon sign, okay, for the entire month. It's also going to tell you what organs are going to be influenced and affected by that moon sign for the month. Hey, how about this? You thinking about having surgery of some sort? If that's your way to go, it's gonna also tell you whether or not you should or shouldn't do surgery. Look at that. And how the math is gonna math. Look at how you're gonna have that thing every single time. It ain't no reason or rhyme or reason why you don't know what to do. You hear what I'm saying? For the entire month. It also lets you know the phases of what, if you're looking for what a new moon gonna be and what time, boom, it's also in there. If you're looking for when the moon's gonna shift, boom, it's in there. Now, Time Pass is gonna give you day by day. So it's gonna give you what's going on currently and for the day. It's not gonna give you what's going on ahead. It's not gonna give you what's going on behind you either. It's gonna give you currently, where are we? What are we dealing with today, right now? That's what Time Passages is for. But you don't have to stay there. We got planning to do. You got things to launch. You have trips to take. You got relationship things to work on. It's right here. It's right there. You see it? Do y'all see it? Right there. All already in that space. Okay. Use this tool, please. Okay. It is there for you to be able to understand. All right. If you grew up like I did in the South, and your parents or your daddy fished and hunted like my daddy did, right? There was something called the Farmer's Almanac. Okay. This is no different. Okay. It is literally, the Farmer's Almanac would give you a plan of all kinds of things. It gave you stuff broke down, all that. That's what this is in the real time. Okay. Now, going back to where we are, the current chart, when you look at this phase and you want to get a little bit more in depth, let's just say you need a little bit more than time passes. It wasn't giving you enough. You click on the chart. When you click on the chart, it's going to also take you into where the energy is. This is everything that we just looked at, okay? This is where all the houses are. If you just kind of want to know where the placements are, again, everything is implicit system, but you can change it. You can change it to whatever system that you want to change it to. All of the systems I use give you every house calculation. Why? Because I like to see all of it. You know what I'm saying? So when people come and be like, Gigi, do you like sidereal more? I like it all, baby. Don't listen. My God has all of it. My God ain't just one. Okay. My God is multidimensional. So because my God is her, he, him, they, all of it. Okay. It's multidimensional. I'm looking at everything. You're not finna get me caught up. You're not gonna make me lose out on my blessings because I'm only looking at one part of it. Look at all of it, okay? It's letting you know where all these energies are, okay? And when you scroll down here, it's also going to give you even more interpretations, okay? It's going to give you some interpretations based on what we just saw, right? So I'm going to go back into that. We're going to go in now and talk about this Jupiter-Venus conjunction. I think that is the most important for us to also focus on. And then I want to focus on this alignment for the Gemini lineup of these 5 planets. I want to talk about that too. Okay. Who got their hand up? Why I got my hand? Did I do that? Why is my hand up? Look,
It's because how you were holding your hand, it decided that you were actually raising it.
no, stupid ass. See what I'm saying? See, look at these systems. Want to sit there and give me, I didn't need no help, okay? But I'm grateful. I'm going to take it all. Thank you, universe. That's great, okay? Now, when you go into it, right? And we go and look at where the moon is, right? When you go down and say the sun is in Gemini, the sun is right now in the 12th house, okay? Now, when we talk about the 12th house perspectives, okay? The 12th house is where now let's read their interpretation. I'm gonna give y'all mine, okay? Sun in the 12th house. The sun in the 12th house indicates a desire for perfection. These people usually do not get full recognition for their abilities and efforts, but they do not mind. They are satisfied with the simple, quiet life in solitude. If they are managers, they will do their job inconspicuously and with modesty. Their services to other people are in areas in which they are likely to achieve recognition and satisfaction. These people are usually interested in psychology and research of psychological phenomena. Even though they may feel the need to interact with others, they often feel alienated, even in the middle of a social event. It gives them the opportunity to observe, make sense of things, and understand. They should not worry about fame and social status. Okay, now Gemini in the 12th house to me is an awful place to be. The reason why is because Gemini loves to be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But a Gemini in the 12th is like, internally, they're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. They're not, the hands ain't going out. They're just looking around. They don't really say much because what we have in the 12th house is sometimes where we are stuck and where we are hidden, okay? So because the sun is in Gemini and the 12th house perspective, as we're dealing with this, all this full moon energy and all this kind of stuff, what is coming to light is internally your mental health perspectives, how you think, what you're doing, that stuff is coming online. But because it's hidden, you don't feel like you can really share with nobody. So you're starting, some parts of us may feel like we can't be ourselves. One of the things that was very strong to me when I was watching Terrence Howard's interview with Joe Rogan, I never felt more seen in my life. The reason why is because a lot of the stuff that Terrence Howard has said, I have been talking to people about the CERN project, the HART project. I've been talking about a lot of this stuff for years, y'all, for like 15, 20 years. And every time I go to talk to somebody about it, like, where are you getting this stuff from? Like, they looking at me sideways, like, where is this coming from? And I'm like, well, I got a download and I went to research and then look for it and it popped up. Because again, this stuff is, he's channeling. We're all channeling, right? But we don't necessarily feel like we can share the things that we are channeling because we don't want to be seen crazy or called crazy or be isolated on the outside, right? Now, one of the things too that he said, like his wife has come in and helped him, like giving him all these supplements and he's looking younger, blah, blah, blah. But he was like, I still smoke cigarettes, right? Now, when he said that, part of me wanted to judge him, but as soon as I went to judge him, I'm like, oh, he still feels like he can't fully be himself, right? Because and I'm, again, nothing wrong with tobacco. We have native, most of us got some type of native blood in us, and so tobacco was used ritually. But when we start to feel like we have to consume tobacco on a daily basis, you know what I'm saying? This is coming from somebody who smoked big blunts, okay? 2 and 3 a day with tobacco wrapped in it, right? It's also because there's so much happening in the brain. It was so much being downloaded. And because we don't feel like we can talk about it, okay? We don't want to be judged. We try to mask it sometimes. See, tobacco is one of the ways in which spirit travels, okay? Those of us who work in high magic and work in spirituality, we know this. We use tobacco in ritual. We use it in plant medicine too, meaning like we're having plant medicine journeys and we want spirits. If the spirits are getting too heavy and too hard, we pull that cigar out, baby, and start blowing that tobacco. We give spirits tobacco and they calm down, okay? So the fact that he's using it lets me also know that this energy of how he's feeling about himself is also very much still caught up, okay? And this is the energy that we're all collectively feeling. A lot of us are coming online and you don't feel like you can talk about it. But let me just share why we feel like we can't talk about it. Because we have not been living in our truth and honesty. And the reason why this year is so important on exposing all those things is because you haven't had the real tribe. The people that you got around you are not your tribe. Okay. Some of the people that you've had around you are not your tribe. And that's been coming out. Okay. And that's the reason why it's important that we do talk about it. I was grateful to see him talk about it. I was, in the space of he had to go to Joe Rogan and be able to talk about it. Okay. I understand. We don't care how it got out. Okay. But why did he? Because obviously he's gone to other places to try to talk about this and nobody wants to really talk about it. They don't want to talk about it because if we talk about it, if we say yes to it, then we also have to admit that we too have gotten these downloads. We too understand that this math ain't mathing that they're giving us. The conversation is about him saying that the math, the multiplication is not correct, and it's not. It's not correct. So if the math is not mathing on that end, then how many mental traps are we caught inside of as it relates to this math? How much are we not able to talk about as it relates to this math? Why are we in communities that don't support us? Because we are not able to talk about the real. So everything that's being exposed is going to give us true community where we can talk, where we can be real, where we can now write the stories and tell the stories that we know God has given us, that Goddess has given us. It's time for us to write again. What I mean, right? I mean, they're moving us farther and farther away from this technology. These phones are moving us away from scribing. Okay, scribing is extremely important because the magic is in the pen and the paper. Moving that across the paper, that's the magic. And we have to do that because the more they take us away from that, the more we're not feeling like we have the space to be able to tell our truth. And if we start to scribe again and talk about it again, we're going to draw our real community. Okay, we're going to draw the truth and the community that we really do need as it relates to being able to talk about the things that we need to talk about. Okay, so that sun in the 12th house is exposing where we are also blocked and locked up a little bit. Okay, we're scared too to tell the truth because we don't want to end up in the crazy house. But let me go ahead and tell y'all, we are all in the crazy house right now. Every last one of us, we're in the crazy house. We're in the crazy house because we can't tell the truth. We can't talk, right? So what's happening is we're being pierced now. So now the truth is leaking out of your pores. So now we can no longer move forward without talking about this, okay? Now, the other aspects are the opposition to Moon, conjuncting Venus, conjuncting Jupiter, conjuncting Uranus, sextile Neptune, trining Pluto, square to the midheaven, and parallel to Venus. These are all the aspects that the sun is now dealing with, okay? You can click on these and they give you even more conversation. So when you're clicking on this as additional resources to Time Passages, you want to go into other perspectives, it's going to give you that. But what I love about this is that it is giving you the degrees right beside it. So if you just want to know the degrees of where it is and you want to see how this degrees is in your chart, it's right there. All you got to do is click on it, okay? Now, going down to the moon, okay? The moon energy, we already know the moon is in Sag, right? It talks about that. The moon energy is in the 6th house, okay? What is the 6th house? The 6th house is ruled by Virgo, okay? What is the Virgo perspective? Digestive system, okay? How we are breaking things down. So now in the 12th house, we stuck. We can't talk. We're hidden. All of our gifts and talents are coming online, but we don't have a true community to talk about it. Okay, well, what is that doing to us? Again, it's affecting our mental health. But now as it's affecting our mental health, you know what else is affecting? Your digestive system. Okay, so now all the areas that Sagittarius deal with, which is what we talked about, the liver and the upper thigh system, all of that, right? Now that in connection to that is sitting directly in your digestive system, meaning that the reason why your liver is offline, the reason why you're having some digestive upsets is because you are not able to tell the truth and talk and do what you need to do as it relates to what's going on in your mental health, what's going on in your mind, because you got people around you that you have been appeasing and that have been appeasing you, and you know that ain't real. You know this is not a real thing. And because it's not, you're not able to really come online, and now it's affecting your digestive system. It is affecting your ability to break things down, which is what it's supposed to be. Okay, what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be breaking down the information that we take in. So now when you aren't able to break things down, what do? You become a hypochondriac. You become an overthinker, overprocessor. So now you just blah, blah, blah. You thinking. You're judging, right? Because we're talking about Sag. So now you're judging this thing. Now you keep judging it. You keep pushing it out. You keep not wanting to really look at the facts of it, right? Understanding that all of it has to do with the fact of the energy of it being off. It's off because of how we are not allowing ourselves to be in practice or do our gifts, right? Where we also have Sagittarius in our chart is where we are also the actor and the actress, okay? So some of this is about taking those personalities and acting out of it, right? Doing these different things, finding out who you are in those spaces. It's going to affect you greatly if you do not do it. Affect you greatly where? Digestive system. If your digestive system is off today, if you're having some problems going to the bathroom, you're going to the bathroom too much, you haven't had a bowel movement today, then I'm here to tell you that you are out of balance. You got this all out of balance energy, okay? If your mental health has been rampant today, you haven't gotten anything done, you have been jumping all over the place, but not writing nothing down, no gifts or talents, not doing any of the structure and things that you said you're gonna do, you are out of balance. Now, the good thing is it's easy to get in balance. It's easy to get in balance by admitting that you are out of balance. That's the first thing, admitting where you are. Second thing is employing the tools. The tools is looking at your chart and looking at why you are out of balance and looking at where these things are in your chart, which is what we're getting ready to talk about now. We're going to talk about these things. I want to talk about where Gemini is in your chart, where Sagittarius is in your chart. And then we're going to get into the Venus and the Jupiter conversation, and then end it out with the 5 planetary alignment of Gemini. Okay. Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand how the moon and how moon and Sag and Gemini is operating in your chart today and how it's operating in your life? Okay. I'm taking it as a yes. I saw thumbs up at the bottom. Yep. Okay, great. Now, so let's talk about you. Let's come off of this screen share for a minute and let's get into us. Okay. Let's talk about us for a little bit. All right. Now, we're gonna start out talking about this Sag. Let's talk about this Sag energy. Okay. Where y'all Sag? Where is this moon affecting your Sag placements? Put it in the chat. I showed y'all my stuff. Okay, y'all know where I'm at. Y'all already told y'all. Okay. All right, got Venus and Gemini. Where's your Sagittarius energy? Because that Venus and Gemini, you hold that for a minute, okay? Because that's a good one right there. That's definitely part of our topic of conversation today of this Venus conjuncting Jupiter, okay? Okay. Y'all coming in with it. Where is it? Chat. Bop. Boom. Okay. Okay. Yep, my name is Monique and I'm in recovery. Oh, you ain't the only one in recovery, Monique, but thank you for admitting that. Okay. All right. Carissa says Venus is in Gemini. Come on. Then wrote it all down for you, girl. She's like, I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing together. So when you ask me, mine is already laid out. I already did the work. Okay, Venus is in Gemini. Uranus in Sag. Okay, Chiron is in Gemini. Then Gemini's in the 6th house. Oh, is it now? Okay. Sagittarius in the 12th. Now, so that whole conversation I just had about the 6th and the 12th house, did you come off of let me see you, Carissa, real quick.
Okay.
Now that whole conversation I just had about the 6th and the 12th. Do you understand how that thing just did that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Mercury's in Leo. Okay, then. Jupiter's in Aquarius. Girl, look at here. 9th house is in Virgo and 3rd house is in Pisces. Now, the focal point, okay, is that Venus and Gemini, which you table at, we're gonna come back to that one, but that Uranus and Sag. Uranus is breaking free. It is the future, okay? So this is about your future. This is about where you have to tap into your gifts and talents because it's about the future. It's about your future and the future of everybody that's included. All right. So whatever the gifts that are coming online, okay, you got to tap into that. And some of that may include you having to travel to go and see what it is. Okay. That means you might need to, if you're stuck or you feel like you're stuck in any area of creativity, go get out the house, go leave, go do something. Okay. Because something about that travel, whether it's short distance or long distance, is going to allow you to see what you actually need to tap into. Okay. Now that is the biggest one of the biggest conversations for the day, which is where are you stuck? Where are you not allowing yourself? Because sometimes when we have Uranus is where the box ain't really got no, it's not closed, right? We're in the cardboard box and all we got to do is stand up out of it. You know what I'm saying? But because we think the box is closed, we like, ooh, okay, wait a minute. Maybe I can't move. All you got to do is push your hand up. Literally, push your hand up through that box and be like, ooh, what? It's new territory out here. Yes, it's also territory that has not been explored. So you got to get out of that box, okay? Go see something. Now, the Chiron in Gemini, okay? Chiron is the wounded healer, okay? Now, this is where some parts of your mental health / your duality, right, may feel a little bruised. Okay, so you may feel like, well, I do want to tap into some of those things, but psychologically, right, mental health wise, maybe I feel like I can't. Or maybe when I tried to before, somebody told me that they think of, girl, you crazy. Girl, you can't do that. Limiting beliefs, okay? So some form of the limiting belief also could have put the pressure on. So part of this cycle, this Gemini season, because now it ain't just this one, okay? It's this alignment that we're going to have, especially when we have that 5-6 planetary lineup on June 3rd. I need you to watch your wounds that day. Because when that stuff line up, all of that's going to put you in the spotlight for why you haven't been showing up for yourself. And a lot of it has to do with how you have been cycling your own mindset. Okay, it's about your mental health, about what it is that you're thinking for yourself. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't an outside influence that may have caused that. Childhood could have caused it. But at this point, it's about you taking those things and now advancing yourself, okay? Now, Gemini in the 6th and Sagittarius in 12th. That's just turned around, okay? Gemini in the 6th meaning mental health and doing those things, you tapping into your gifts and talents, multiple gifts and talents are going to prevent you from having any type of mental health outlash within yourself, okay? And using Sagittarius in the 12th, Sagittarius in the 12th is where you know you need to go, but again, you've been telling yourself you can't go, or I got to do this first, or I got to pay this bill. Whatever the case may be, you've been giving yourself all these reasons of why you can't expand. Okay, Sagittarius is Jupiter, which means expand. So this is the time that you need to work on your expansion all the way around. And it's going to greatly help you to come out of those wounds. All right. Now we're going to come back. And I'm going to talk about that Venus and Gemini energy when I come back. But you got any questions about those?
Nope.
Okay.
I understand everything.
Like, nope, I got it. Okay. All right, great. Okay, Sherry, Sag and Neptune in the 3rd house. Neptune is dreams. Okay. What are you dreaming about? Sag is saying, hey, time to expand. And the expansion of that has everything to do with your dreams. So whatever's coming online, whatever your dreams have been, if they have been rampant, have you been dreaming? Yep, come on for me.
Yeah, I dream all the time about wild stuff that doesn't seem like possible.
See? Limiting. It is possible. And I'm gonna tell you something, like, I think if y'all haven't learned anything from me, I've been sharing, like, I've been sharing my crazy dreams of the last 3 weeks. And this one right here was the craziest one. This, I don't know shit about One Piece. I told you I did not watch that. I didn't know nothing about it. Nothing at all. Okay.
But Gigi, it's fire. It's such a good series. Okay, I'm dead. I'm sorry.
I hear you. I hear, and you know what? When I posted that, the amount of DMs I got, like, how you not watch One Piece? It's on Netflix. Go and watch the original series. Go and watch the anime. I was just like, first of all, now your girl don't have time for TV. I barely have time to do those things, right? So what I do, but this is Spirit don't care. Spirit don't care. I don't have time because it put it directly dead in my head. Boom. And I thought, I was like, wait a minute. Why is that a coincidence that all of a sudden it is an anime, but it's on Netflix at this current time, right? Coincidence? I don't believe so. I really believe it has a lot to do with what's really going on in these waters, right? What's going on in this water? Now they're starting to tell us that, oh, behind Antarctica, there's a real whole nother world over there, and all kinds of stuff is coming online about these waters, but they have been guarding the water, right? Well, from research, because I went and researched, even though I didn't watch the series, I went and did my research, girl. So when I went and did the research, I come to find out that this is about the rise up against the whole taking over the world, and how, the pirates, right? The pirates were the ones who were the free people. They were the ones who were moving about the water and doing all these things and all this kind of stuff. And then they were being halted by the one world governmental system, AKA the Navy. So when my brother, who was in the Navy in this dream, came up and told me that let me get the Bible. Hold on. My brother, who tells me that the Bible was the original One Piece map. This is what he said in my dream. I was like, what is this about? I don't even understand. Now, y'all see this symbol on this Bible? Y'all see this? It's not it look like a cross, but it's not a regular cross. This is the exact symbol that was on that Bible in my dream. This one right here. Now, when I went into this bookstore here in Mexico and asked this little old lady, it was a used bookstore. Cute little bookstore too, y'all. Went there and I was like, do you have any Bibles? And she was like, yeah, I have a Bible that's in English, and then I have 3 Bibles that are in Spanish. But the Bibles were big, right? It was big. And so I'm looking at them and I'm connected, but I'm not connected. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna just look for pirate books. So I'm looking through the things, looking for pirate books, and I'm seeing all these other books that I've read come up. I'm like, this woman is on it. She got all the books I done pretty much read in this thing over here in Mexico. So as I'm sitting there on her little thing, she comes over and she says, I think this is for you. This is what she says to me. I think this is for you. I said, you're right. It is for me. This is what she gave me. Okay. This is what I use today for the ritual work that I had to do when I went to Alamujeles today. Okay. Now, even though I hadn't saw One Piece and didn't know anything about it, I got this shirt the last time I did the ritual, okay? Because I needed a blue shirt. I went to Walmart and I needed a blue shirt, and I bought this shirt because it was blue. That's why I bought it. A whole nother story for a whole nother day, okay? But the fact of sometimes you don't know what spirit is giving you in dreams, because the very first dream that I had about Goddess Ixchel was last year in April, okay? When she showed me all these different things that I was going to be doing. Okay. And I was like, first of all, lady, who are you? And why are you coming into my dreams? Because I don't even know you. I don't know nothing about you. Okay. I ain't never heard of you a day in my life. When researching, found out that she is the Mayan goddess. Well, I happen to be in Quintana Roo. I'm in the Yucatan Peninsula. This is her stuff. Go to do more research on her. Her land of living is Alamujeles, which is right across the water. I live in Playa del Carmen. It's right there, okay? It's on the other side of Cancun. Now, we can call these things coincidences, or we can say we are all here to do some work. We are here to do some things. And even though we don't understand the details of these things, when we start to write them down or connect with parts of it, it all comes online. From last April to that very first dream of her showing up in my dreams, she came in my dreams again, okay, this year as my grandmother, okay? Then she came again. She'd come up several times, okay? Let me just say this. She's come up several times, to the point the very last one I shared with y'all was the whole thing about One Piece, and she used my brother to tell me that the Navy stopped what's going on in the water. The Navy stopped it, okay? And they stopped it using this. This is what they stopped. But the pirates was using this. This is how they navigated the water, the real water. But what's the real water? The word. The real water is us. So they have been bloodshedding to stop us from accessing our own ancestral DNA. This is what came out of that entire dream, y'all. When I got through it, I knew exactly what I need to do. That's why I went this morning, even though I was tired, because I did all the stuff yesterday. I got up, I drove 50 minutes to the port. I got on that ferry. I went to that water. I opened this Bible up, and whatever it landed on, I read. I'm gonna send it to y'all on my close room. I'm gonna let y'all see what spirit did to me, okay, through the dreams. So I'm saying this because your dreams the one dream may not make sense. The one dream you have, it may be all over the place, Sherry. It may be, colors that don't make sense. It may be things you've never seen before. It may be, because part of the dream was some dragons coming out of the water for me. Do y'all think dragons is really in the water? I do. I do now. I didn't then, but now I do. Loch Ness monsters, mermaid people. I believe in these things because when I was talking to my mama about it, and she told me the original Bible, that big Bible that most of our great-great-grandmamas had, there were chapters in there that talked about mermaids and y'all see the hand raising again? See what I'm saying? Okay. The original Bible had all these things in it. It talked about celestial beings. It just didn't talk about us. But we didn't know that. Okay. Looks like you're done talking, so we'll lower your hand in 3 seconds. This AI thing is going off, man. It's giving me all kinds of notifications. So even though we're not clear on what's happening, what I'm saying to you is them dreams are important. And as you can see, they're going to be extremely important from now as you go through this Sagittarius / Gemini season, because it's both, right? Y'all know it's only 6 signs, the front and the back. It's what I believe, okay? We break them down into 12 so we can understand them more, but it's only 6, okay? As you go through this Gemini Sagittarius season, your dreams are extremely important to the work you got to do, okay? You over there working with fire magic, baby. You over there doing candle work, okay? So some of your candle work, these dreams are helping you to understand, okay? Your ancestors are coming through. And even though this stuff look crazy, again, this Mayan goddess showed up as my grandmama like 2 weeks ago. And when she showed up as my grandmama, I was like, grandmama. She was like, you know I'm not your grandmama. And I was like, but you know my grandmama. She was like, I know. And then she showed me a picture of me and her from 8 years prior where we met. And you know what she was coming out of the thing doing? I saw her coming out of the radio station because she had just finished singing. So I know what that was about. I know that was a check in my spirit about my singing, right? Because why else? You ain't my grandmama, but you this Mayan goddess showing up in my dreams, telling me to do work and this kind of stuff, and you coming out of a radio station? Why are you coming out of a radio station? And part of that, she also reminded me that the last time that we met, I was doing music with my ex-husband. Well, that's when I started doing music. When I really came out and learned how to play guitar was with my ex-husband. But when he left, and in my mind, my world shattered, and now I don't know how to take care of my daughter, I put music on hold, and it's been on hold since then. So she came to check my spirit of saying, baby, where is the music? And I'm in crying like, oh, my grandmama, She's like, calm down. I'm like, yes, you are. I'm gonna call my mama too. I called my mama, even my mama knew that she wasn't my grandma, but in her face, she looked just like my grandmother, y'all. This is what I'm saying. Dreams are gonna shift you. Remember them. And one of the things too that is coming real heavy up right now, please, y'all, please, please, please. When you wake up, stop grabbing your phone. Y'all already know they have passed all kind of laws to record your dreams and record stuff via your headphones. Them iPhone plugs that I could never fit in my ears, they have been recording stuff to the point that we had to pass a law that tell people to stop recording. What do y'all think they're doing that for? Because they are extracting your information. You are not remembering your dreams because it's being siphoned in your cell phones. It's been every time you wake up and you like, ooh, let me just check this. You forget. If you spend just the first 5-10 minutes not grabbing anything, just sitting there, okay, just sitting in silence, I guarantee you everything that just happened is going to hit you. It's going to re-download into you. But if you grab that phone, the moment you open your eyes and wake up, it is gone. And they got it. Somebody else got it. That's how y'all be wondering why certain things be popping up. You're like, wait a minute. That even pop up because they siphoning your, they're just not siphoning through your verbiage. They're not just recording us through our mouths. Don't y'all know how highly conductive we are, how much energy we actually do have? We got so much, okay? So do not grab them phones. So your energy, Neptune in the 3rd house, your dreams are affecting your mental health in a good way. It's letting you know some things. So do not grab the phone. Write down as much as you can remember, because as you start to get into the journaling of it, some more details are going to come out. Again, it took 4 dreams and 2 rituals for me to understand why this Mayan goddess has been showing up in my dreams in several different ways. And I know she ain't done. I know she ain't. As long as I'm over here on this Yucatan Peninsula, she gonna be using me, okay, and making me go do stuff. And I'm gonna do it because I know it's going to also set the trajectory of the next level where I gotta go, okay? Your dreams are extremely important, all right? Sag and Saturn and Uranus, Monique. Sag and Saturn Okay, we know Saturn is discipline. Sagittarius is moving, travel, expanding. Uranus is getting out of your own way, getting out of the box. So this Sagittarius full moon is saying your discipline is going to be the thing that's going to get you out of there. Okay, and girl, when I can tell you, where you at, Monique? Come on off of there. And come off mute.
What I do? What I do?
Girl, you've been doing it. You've been over there. You've been working out. You've been posting your workout. You've been posting your food. You have been posting your discipline. Even when I see, because by the time sometimes I get to it, it may be a couple hours in the post. And even if ain't nobody said nothing to it, ain't nobody responded on it. The moment I see it, I hit it. Boom. I see that thing. Okay. Why? Because you have to understand that this is moving you out of your own way. All the levels in your life where you have felt stuck for the past 5, 10 years has been this element right here. So please do not give up. I don't care if you don't got nobody cheering for you. Trust me when I say we are all cheering for you. Okay. I am cheering for your tail. Every time I see you, I'm cheering. So stay in that space, because that discipline is going to expand you and send you out. Okay, beyond what your mind can even fathom right now. It's putting you in a space where your mental health, the energy that you really do need, is changing your mental health. It's changing a whole lot of stuff about you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Delia, help me. Right. You know I'm saying it wrong. Delia. Help me, girl. Delia? That was right? Okay. Because that ain't what I call you anyway.
Wait,
All right.
it ain't what you call me. It's Delia Gigi. I
know.
couldn't find the unmute. I'm like, where is the...
That ain't what I call you nowhere, honey child. Okay. Saturday
No.
Sag. You already, so the same thing I just said to her.
Yes, ma'am.
That did in yours in the third house, so it's greatly going to affect your mental conversations with yourself. The last session we had, we talked about it. Your discipline, all the work that you're doing, you are already in the future. This Uranus part of in the future, and the things that you are building, the things that you're putting online, the stuff that you are responsible for, baby, in this time period, this age, the team that you are building. In this age of AI, in this age of setting us trajectory into the future, you're doing some major things, but your discipline with yourself is what's going to be extremely important, because as long as you're inside of your discipline with yourself, your mental health is going to be good. You're going to be able to continue to build this team and give yourself what you need. Okay. It is about you first. They are following you, okay? So what you do for yourself gives you the ability to be able to teach others and do stuff for others. You know what I'm saying? So stay on that. I'm watching you too. I'm watching all of y'all. Y'all already know. Y'all be seeing me in the stories and on everything. I'm like, I bet I got time for this. I got time to see what you got going on over there. Let me see. That be me, okay? But stay in that. You're already doing it. Like from the last conversation we just had a few weeks ago, and already I could just see how your energy just lightening up. You know what I'm saying? Where when you came in, you was like, it was like you was all over the place. You was a 3 and an 8-year-old, like,
Y'all dragged me, and I went screaming.
No more. No more, honey. You got it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Suki, Gemini 10th house, Sagittarius and Neptune. Okay, so Gemini 10th, duality. That means we need duality, baby. Okay. Sagittarius and Neptune, what is you dreaming about? When's the last time you've been on a trip? It's time to go on a trip. Are we tripping? Where we going? What's the next location? And when we
I
go,
was trying to plan one. Yeah,
Huh?
I was trying to plan one this weekend. You're right. I've been feeling it. I'm like, I gotta go to the water. Heard.
It's time to go. And do other things too. There's some other areas that's coming online as far as like creativity, right? Other areas.
Yes.
So I feel like even though the ways of the business is how you have been activating yourself in your fitness and that kind of stuff. And I love seeing your fitness videos. Like I'll be saving them too. I'll be like, whoop, saving that. Okay. All right. She's my trainer on this part. Gonna do this, gotta do that. But there's also some other things opening up too. Okay. So
I
this
know.
definitely has something to do with, look like it may be some form of like acting, performing, something. What is it? Tell us all tell us in the classroom. What is it? We want to hear.
Performing.
What is it?
I don't know nothing about performance.
Okay, tell me.
Well, I mean, I dance, but I haven't thought about it in that
Did
way.
y'all
You
hear
know what I
that?
mean?
press pause. Everybody in the room. Did y'all hear how this lady just said, I don't know nothing about no performing, but I dance. Can y'all help me? Help me, help her, help us. Okay? Is dancing not some form of performing? Suki, I'm talking to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
Where is
Heard.
where is it? Where is the classes, baby? Are we finna do some dance classes to add to this fitness? What are we adding to this? Because it looked like there's some other things need to be added. And when you travel, right? Your travel may be part of you to go and learn different forms of dances in different countries.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
adding this form of dance as fitness, right? Because sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of them fucking weights.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a balance that's
I get
needed
bruised. I'm
within.
still dealing with a bruise from the weights, from the
I
doing this,
remember.
tired of that. But then if you put some little stuff in there, make me a little coochie want to move. You know what I'm saying?
Dance fitness for sure.
Can we have more? Can you give us a little bit? Can you go out and go learn and have fun and travel and dance and then come back and give it to us? Can we get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
I want that too.
I know
Thank
you
you.
do. We want it. We want it as well. Okay. Give it to us. Again, everything we talking about in here ain't just about y'all. Everything. I say this to y'all again. I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face. If I didn't decide to coach myself and get myself to this point in astrology, could we have this class we having right now? Could we be in here? Could we be having this conversation? Absolutely not. I'm gonna answer. Y'all don't have to answer. I answer it for myself. The answer is no, we couldn't. So that's the reason why, even though my marriage failed, okay, or transition, we're gonna call it a failure, we're gonna call it a transition. Even my marriage transition, it transitioned me into astrology, which now allows all of us to be in this room together. So your gifts and talents that we're talking about right now, this expansion, right? This Sagittarius, Gemini energy, it ain't just for you. It's for all of us. We're all benefiting off of this. Okay? Either directly or indirectly, we're still benefiting off it, because if you do what you're supposed to do, Pluto and Aquarius, our true communities are formed. We can now come together. Now I'm not gonna mind talking to y'all about this math and these rituals and this One Piece stuff that I don't know. And then when I start talking about One Piece, y'all be like, girl, I watched it. So let me fill you in. I'm like, thank you, fill me in, because I don't got the time for all of that. Give me the cliff notes so I can know what I need to go and do. Okay, your job is to watch it. My job is to do the action. But if you don't watch it and I don't do the action, you see how we don't make it? We don't make it. So this is for all of us. Okay. All right, Crystal, where she at? Where you at? She with baby? Oh, okay, there you at. Good. Okay, so Naima said Sag and Saturn, Uranus in the 4th house. Ooh, girl, I tell you, one of the most Sagittarius Aquariuses. You understand me? One of the most Sagittarius Aquarius that I've never seen. All right, it's a good balance over there. All right, so Saturn, discipline. Okay. Uranus, getting out of your own way. 4th house, programs of the mother. Okay, Naima. So we're talking about the discipline, right? And how all those come together. We can't let that 4th house dynamic and what you have to do as far as mothering and nurturing other people get you out of the placement of doing that for yourself. Okay, this is about you first. And I know you got responsibilities. I know. I hear you over there. But you just got this, I got that. But if you don't have you, then they don't have you either. You understand? So this is about you and how you now move, how you now move yourself about, okay? Getting out of your own box, getting out of your own way, expanding beyond the confines of what you think you have to be, okay? So this is allowing yourself to dream bigger than where you are, okay? Because Uranus is the future. So it's not just about what we see right now. It's about what you've always seen and how you're going to get there. So we can't, 4th house is mother programming, the nurturing of that programming, and now how we then do that for other people, but it's also about how we then nurture for ourselves, right? So this is about you taking on responsibilities, but this is also about you understanding that the first primary responsibility is yourself, and how you need to give yourself the nurturing that you did not get when you were a child. Okay, the nurturing you did not get as it relates to the programming. So a lot of this stuff that you're learning on your own, especially when it comes down to how you're mothering, how you're taking care of Angel. This energy is about you, right? Your angel, your internal angel, and how now this energy is coming out full circle, right? But that energy of creativity and staying in there. I've been watching you too. I see you've been out there. You've been, making sure you stay on top of things. You know what I'm saying? Hosting this and doing all other things. But some of the things that we have talked about, right, from the beginning, your podcast work, right? How that is transpire, how is it going to transpire? Like your own individual work is you nurturing of yourself, because the women in your bloodline have, in one way or the other, have not been able to stay in their creative centers, right? They've been all over the place doing all other things, but you are now having to manage that and balance that, okay? So Sagittarius is expansion, expanding yourself beyond your own limitations of your childhood, right? So this fourth house dynamic is what's next? Maybe time for you to pack them up and be like, you know what? We finna go take 2 months to just be out here on the road, go learn something, go do something. You know what I'm saying? Adventure in a different type of way. Don't necessarily have to mean internationally. It can be short range trips. It can be going to the mountains. It can be going to the ocean, going to the water, going somewhere, so that your nurturing of yourself is different. And then you're also teaching this in a different way as far as the family is concerned, okay? But the Uranus part is where you have to watch where your feet get stuck, okay? Where you tell yourself, I don't know how to move, right? And then when you say that, the judgment starts. Again, for everybody, Sagittarius is where you get judged, where you start to judge yourself, when you start to feel like you don't know what to do, okay? Not only do you judge yourself, you judge everything else too. That's the keeping us blocked, keeping us locked. And what happens is we shrink. Now, let me say about shrinking, because shrinking ain't necessarily a bad thing, because before you can jump, you have to bend down, okay? So I want you to remind yourself of that. So if you find yourself shrinking, you have to then repeat, oh, hold on, I'm shrinking, okay, it's time for me to jump, okay? So even if you feel like you walking through the house and you start to feel your energy shrink, just go ahead and jump down. Go down and just jump up, okay? Because in energy, what you just did was you just told your spirit, even though I feel like I'm shrinking myself in some kind of way, I am not going to stay there, okay? So now, even when you start to feel like you are shrinking, okay, or it's too much on you, jump, okay? Go get you a jump rope, as a matter of fact. That's your homework. Go get you a jump rope so that you can just be like, you know what? I need to jump. I need to jump out of this, okay? Because the only thing at this point that's stopping us, again, is how we are cycling our mental health. What you are saying to yourself, you're going to be your worst enemy on what the verbiage is. And I need you to really watch that verbiage, especially over the next week and a half, okay? Crystal, Uranus, yours in the 5th house. Your friend over here is in the 4th, yours in the 5th, okay? So where hers is dealing with, you know what I'm saying, that mothering perspective, yours is similar, but it's now you putting yourself out there. Okay, now it's on the 5th house perspective. Now it's nurturing the inner child, right? So now it's Sweet Pea challenging you and making you see ways in which you now have to nurture your inner child. She's a mirror reflection of this inner child work that you're doing, okay? Because the 5th house is the house that's ruled by the house of children. So it is whereas 4th house is the programming that we received, 5th house is now how we teach our children, or the energy that we give to our kids. But the first child is ourselves. It's our own inner child, okay? So ways in which you may be stopping and blocking yourself because you feel like, okay, you got some broken heart energy, okay? 5th house is Leo. Leo is broken heart. Leo is where we have to nurture our heart, okay? 4th house is where we have to nurture ourselves. 5th house is where we nurture our heart. What you been in your head down, and I can still see you. You ain't hiding over there. Are you laughing at Naeem?
I had to call her out because you said broken heart energy, and we just been, yep, I just called her out. You saying a thing. That's all.
You understand? So
Listen, I
uh-huh.
went to the chiropractor. It's this fine ass chiropractor, right? So he did the assessment. Now, the last time I seen him, I was pregnant. So, you know, it's a different territory. He did the assessment. He was like, oh, your heart chakra is blocked. Your heart is blocked. That's why she talking about, she thinks she's slick. So
well,
back to what you were saying.
the fact that the fine ass chiropractor told you, because we're not gonna leave that out, okay? He's bringing it online for a reason, right? Because if he can feel that the heart chakra is blocked, maybe he's trying to unblock it. Okay, that's the word. That is church today. Church up in here. Okay, maybe he's trying to unblock that thing.
Let us touch and agree. Everybody, put your hands towards the
Y'all
screen.
touching and agree that he wants to unblock this heart chakra. You understand?
I say and amen.
Get it on in there, okay? But in order for him to do that, okay? Because understand, he can have the willingness. Where we have Leo is where we say, I will. He can have the willingness, but he can't get in there if you don't allow it, okay? So you have to not only be acknowledgeable that the universe is giving you a huge signal by saying it, but you also have to say, I will. I will open myself up to allow myself on a deeper level of healing. And again, this relationship energy that we're talking about, that we're getting ready to go into for a second, is extremely important today, because understand that when we open up our hearts and ask for healing, part of that is us having to also deal with the ways in which we allowed ourselves to be broken in the first place, okay? And a lot of that is, again, like I said earlier, us not upholding our own boundaries. You know what I'm saying? We got to work on our boundaries in a bigger way, a bigger perspective, because we'll have them. We'll even write them down. We'll sit there, ooh, I A, B, C, and D. And the moment Mr. or Mrs. come in there, okay? And when they come in there, they say 2 of the 5 things that is right. And we forget that we got 5 on there. You got 5, not 3 and not 2. You got 5. So we can't completely let everything down for just that. There go the hand again. We can't, let me hold my hand down. We can't just let that go for the 2. You understand? We got to be like, ooh, baby, I see the 2. But can we get the 5? Okay. And then that is going to make sure that our boundaries are not stepped on, because if we open up too soon, too fast, what we're asking for now is our wounded healer to come in and check our ass. Okay. And it's going to do it every single time. So this is about your heart healing. This is about you recognizing that during this cycle, during this energy, you got to open up. And part of that open up is not being afraid. Okay. And having the willingness to say, okay, cool. I know what I need to do here. And what I need to do is make sure that I'm putting me first. And putting me first looks like this. Okay. You got me? All right. Did I miss anybody? Wait a minute. Michaela, did you put your stuff on here? Oh, I see it now. Okay. So I think I got everybody first. I got everybody first parts. So Neptune is in Sag in the 6th and Gemini in 12th with no plans. Okay. Well, honey, I just talked about this too. I just said these. Okay. Sag in the 6th and Gemini in the 12th is what this whole energy is. So this is you. Okay, this Gemini Sag moon transit is you directly. Okay, Sag energy in the 6th house is you being willing to break this thing down, the digestive system of this, okay, and how it's affecting your digestive, and how this Gemini perspective of being talented, being multidimensional, right, and having all these gifts and talents, but not feeling like you can really share them, or not feeling like, come on off mute. So I could talk to you, so you could talk back to me. Thank you, ma'am. Now, this whole energy, you know what I'm saying, is about you being able to garnish and harness your tribe. But that means you got to get louder. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to talk to us. You got to be willing to share those gifts and talents and not feel like that you don't have a space to do that. I trust me when I say I understand, because that's what this whole thing is about, right? But what we don't do it is where we don't allow ourselves to actually expand and get all the things that we need to get. Now, Saturn in the 6th house, that is also will affect the digestive system. Where are you going? Is it time to take a trip? Do you have a trip planned?
I'll be out your way next week, next weekend.
When you say out my way, what does that mean? Because a lot of folks, y'all think y'all be coming to me, you ain't coming to me. What is out my way? What does that look like?
I'm gonna be in customer harass. My friend is getting married.
Okay. Well, you are in alignment. So with that trip and that travel, you know what I'm saying? It is about you being able to observe and take on things and take in things too, but also being willing to also share yourself. Okay. It's time for you to really find amongst this energy, right? Find out the true ways in which you can really build the true community that you need for this next level. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the time for that. Now, having no planets in the 12th house, meaning there's nothing directly affected by that, but your mentality still is. Your mental health is still being affected, meaning that when you feel like you just have to be quiet or, you know what I'm saying, don't necessarily want to take that space on to be able to have certain conversations, you can feel like you are shrinking. Like what I said earlier, jump, okay? What the saying say, you feel froggy, jump? So I need you to jump a little bit. Do something while you here. Do something that you ain't never did before while you on this peninsula, okay? Challenge yourself. I don't know if y'all gonna be doing different excursions or if it's just about the wedding, but if you got some time to either stay a day or two after or do something while you are here, please do something, okay? Allow yourself to digest your dreams in a different type of way because it is Neptune, okay? So Neptune is challenging your dream perspective. So something about this level that you're taking is requesting for you to come on, activate your dreams. Get really into the dream perspective of it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Destiny. Wait, oh, there you go. I was just like, did she leave me? Okay, Sag and Mercury. Venus North Node. Okay. Wait, no, Sag is in Mercury. It's Venus is your North Node and it's your rising. Well, come on in with all this stuff. Okay. Sag and Mercury, watch your language, okay? Watch how you are talking to yourself. Well, I saw your eyes. I saw them eyes get big and shrink. Now, I'm not missing nothing, okay? I'm sharp with it today. I'm on it. Watch your language. You are going to be your worst critic every single time, okay? Meaning that the moment you want to expand and try something, you may find yourself being like, wait a minute, can I? Should I? And even sometimes, especially when we have Sag and Mercury, sometimes your family perspectives can also show up, okay? What your mama said, what your daddy said, what your family thinks, okay? Could also, it ain't you. I know you think it's you because sometimes the voice that you hear is you, but it ain't, okay? It's your childhood perspectives coming in from the conversation that you've had. So a lot of the judgments that you may feel are just what your parents may not have been able to do or your family was not able to do. They ain't got nothing to do with you though. Okay, this is about now we merge that into Venus perspective, especially the North Node and the rising energy, because those two are kind of like the same. The Venus has everything to do with your values, your foundations, how you see things, okay? So some of the ways in which they may have had to live or had to experience things ain't got nothing to do with what your foundations are, what you value, okay? What you deem necessary for your life. But if you allow those things to come in and leak in and constantly be a part of the conversation, this is where you'll start to find yourself having this mental verbal battle within yourself. Where we are out of balance with our Sag, we become the judgmental Gemini. And the judgment of Gemini gets all in the head. It's all mental health. You know what I'm saying? Telling ourselves we can't say that or can't do that. When internally we really want to do these things. So what you're going to have to do today, and especially again until we get from now until June 3rd, I need you to challenge those things that you're saying to yourself. So meaning even when the words come up and you find yourself judging yourself, be like, well, why? Just literally just say why. If you say why, off you go, okay? On to that search, that research. Oh, wait a minute. Why do I feel that? Where did this come from? Oh my God, I don't think this is me. Oh my God, this is my own. This is a limiting belief of something that I picked up. Because that voice sometimes in you that you got in your head about certain things ain't yours, okay? Now, North Node and rising. Whenever North Node comes in perspective, North Node is what you are supposed to be, okay? North Node is you. North Node is the energy of recognizing that this is what you're supposed to live in this life, okay? What's your sun? Your sun sign?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. So the Scorpio part is, oh, I need to be a great support system. Let me support this person. I'm the best support for my friends and family. And you are, and you will always be, okay? But the North Node is that you need to support yourself first. So all the support you expected from other people, the recovering people pleaser, the recovering energy, that's all of us, but it's definitely you, okay? So part of this level right here, this level up, this dimensional level up that you're having is the fact that you need to step more into this rising sign in your North Node, which is be the Sag. Being the Sag means go somewhere, go do something for yourself. Go do something with yourself. When you start to show people a different level of how you support yourself, they'll show up for you in a different type of way. But right now, you are drop whatever I got going on for them. And as long as you do that, they don't feel like they need to do it for you, because if we always got an abundance of something, how are we ever going to send the signal that we need? You can't. You have to not show up. You have to not have it for them to be like, oh, wait a minute, this is a different person. It's a different perspective. Now I know I need to show up for her in this type of way, okay? So the ways in which you now activate into your North Node and activate into your rising has a lot to do with your own expansion, okay? So when are you taking the trip? When is your next trip?
I just got back from Cancun on Monday.
Oh, y'all
I
telling me.
forgot.
So y'all just gonna land on this wall and not tell me nothing, huh? Okay.
I forgot, but I'm already missing it, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to go back out there real soon. So
Come on back on that.
I'll be back soon.
Good. Okay. So now, since you've already left, you've already come here and left. Integration. Okay. Integrate that experience. The reason why you loved it so much was because this is who you are naturally. Okay. It wasn't just a vacation. This is a part of your fabric and your being. This is how you stay balanced. You're going to always support those that you love. That's never going to change about you. But the difference is you got to balance. You got to balance it out. I got to support myself and fill myself up. Because when you fill yourself up, now when you get back, you can get from your overflow. But if you don't operate in this, then what you do is you spend so much time giving to other people to where you don't have nothing. You don't have nothing left. And now you tanked out. Now you're looking at how people don't do nothing but use you. Where if you're giving them access to it, then what else they gonna do? That's one of the things I learned about the interview Erykah Badu and Rhapsody. Rhapsody be like, well, you know, I had people that I was giving this and that too. And Erykah Badu looked at her and said, I would too. And Rhapsody was just like, what you mean? She's like, well, if you gonna sit there and do all those things, you're gonna give and give and give, I would take it too. Have you looked at you? Have you seen your interest? Same for you, baby. If you're gonna keep giving it, as beautiful as you are, if you're gonna keep showing up that way, they're gonna keep swallowing it down, okay? And asking for the next steps. You got more over there? And you be like, I'm over here dry. And they be like, do you have more? Okay?
Yeah, I've grown out of it. I've
Period.
had
Keep
to.
filling yourself up, okay? Gemini in the 7th house, relationship energy. We're gonna come back to that one, okay? That's the part we're gonna talk about in this whole connection of how we're going to operate in this Venus and Jupiter energy. But Gemini in the 7th is definitely having a plethora of relationship energy. Like, ooh, wait a minute. I think I might, ooh, this looks great, that. Exploring yourself on who you are in our relationship fronts. It don't necessarily mean that this is a perspective of romantic relationship, but it's just relationships all. So this is having multiple types of friends, multiple types of people in which you deal with that you can learn from. Learning from different people is where your superpower is. Okay. All right. Jomika, I think you're the last one. Did I go over yours? I don't think I did, right?
No.
Okay, good. Neptune and Sag, 6th house. What? Y'all 6th house Sag and Gemini people. Like this is the conversation. Okay. The same thing that I just said to I think it was Michaela said it to her. I think she had Sag in the 6th, Gemini in the 12th, the same energy, which is again your dreams. Okay. This dream energy that's coming online right now is extremely important, because not tapping into these dreams, not writing them down, not understanding what this is going to affect your digestive system, which is going to affect your mental health. It affects your mental health because where we are out of balance in our Sag placement is where we become the, you know what I'm saying, where our mental health from the Gemini perspective comes in. So this conversation from now for the next week and a half, so we get to June 3rd, is very much so about you tapping deeper into these dreams, okay? And understanding that Gemini perspective in the 12th house, it's time to find your tribe. As a matter of fact, you and Jamaica and Michaela, y'all might need to. If y'all don't know each other, y'all might need to, okay? This is part of the tribe right here. Our tribe is already in this room, okay? There's too many of us with the same placements, looking for people to be able to have the conversation that we need to have, okay? But it's important that you write these dreams down and go towards them, okay? Because the more you go towards them, the more this Neptune energy is allowing you to digest what is happening, okay? And the more you digest what is happening, is allowing that Gemini perspective of you to come online and feel more comfortable about being able to have the conversation you need to have with the right people, okay? You are extremely intelligent. You got so much going on for you, but sometimes you just be quiet, right? And sometimes being quiet, you get missed over or looked over in certain perspectives because you're okay with that. But it's time to not just be okay with that. And we want to hear you too. Same way we want to hear Michaela, we want to hear her too. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear both of y'all. Come online, all right? So the dream is going to show you how to access that and how to get better at being in that perspective, okay? All right, now, I want to change gears and talk about this Venus and Jupiter conjunction, okay? The reason why I want to talk about it is because I feel like this energy is extremely important when it comes down to us talking about how we're going to access our relationship dynamic. Venus is values, foundations, okay? It's also the things that we have, right? So if y'all were in class last month, we talked about all of your statements and creating healthy statements to go about acquiring the things that you want to possess, right? Well, this is also a part of that too. The only difference is now it's not just the energy of, last time it was, okay, we're only focusing on the I have and then how Scorpio is going to help us to change into that. Well, now those same statements, now you have to expand into it. So now the I have statement. So if you did not watch last month's class, well, this month's class at the beginning of this month, then it's time for you to watch that. So I'll send the link to that for y'all to go back to watch that. You have to create your I have statements because your I have statements are how you allow this Venus and Jupiter to conjunct itself together to expand you, okay? So meaning that when you start to look at, especially surrounding the relationships and values, I think this moon was like the pink moon. Come on in, Brandy.
Hey, you didn't do me. I wasn't supposed
How are you?
to know.
Oh, sorry. Let me go down and see where is yours at. Hold on. Where you at, Brandy? Honey buns. I'm so sorry. Oh, there you
I'm
go.
not.
Oh, you sent it to a direct message. Okay, got it. Wait. I'm trying to get it. Not okay. I see your other message too. Just
Lord.
make me giggle. Okay. Sag in the 8th, Gemini in the 2nd. Okay, so Gemini in the 2nd. Well, we'll do Sag in the 8th first. 8th house. Well, it really got to do with what your other private message was, baby. Okay, because the 8th house is all 6 magic house. All right. So now it's the expansion of that. When we talk about Sag and we talk about the energy of Sag in the 8th house, now we're talking about your ability to allow yourself, right, a different level of connection as it relates to how you acquire change and transformation, but also how you acquire the sexual energy. Okay. Sagittarius is the traveler, is to move about, okay, to go and see, right? So this is also where we got to go and see different things and not being afraid to tap into those other things. Why? Because when we don't do it, it greatly affects other things. What's the other things? Gemini in the 2nd is your money, okay? 2nd house is foundations, money, values, all of that, right? So your inability to allow yourself to expand your ways of change, transformation, sex energy, all of that, right, is also greatly affecting your ability to tap deeper into your money perspectives, okay? So meaning that you are walking with this energy. When you go and travel, people can see it, okay? Your sex energy is seen, all right? But you got to be willing to tap into that, okay? So meaning like it's time to really study Get deeper into the things that are coming up for you from a sexual perspective, okay? As a matter of fact, because I know your work is in doula work, right? I need you to also look into sex doula work. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear me? I need to
I
say
heard
it. Okay. I need you to look into sex doula work too. Okay. When I mean sex doula work, just study it. Okay. When you study it, we're gonna talk about it. Okay. 'Cause I know we got some sessions coming up. So we're gonna talk about deeper on what that means. But some part of this is also tapping deeper into the sexual energy that you have. And then tapping deeper into that sexual energy that you have, it's opening up a new lane. Okay. Again, Gemini, where we have multiple streams, especially in the second house. So that's mean multiple streams of income. Not just
Yeah.
okay. So there's some other streams of income you've been thinking about. Do you hear me? There's other streams that you are thinking about that you need to go and tap into. Okay. Sex education. Okay. Opening up the doors of how people can also transform their sexual misfunctions. Okay. Maybe even some work of people who have gone through some sexual traumas. They need people to talk about it with. You somebody to talk about it with, okay? Because having that eighth house
Yeah,
energy,
I'm really good at that.
huh? I know you
I
are.
mean, well, I'm a cab driver also, so it'd be like taxi cab confessions and that for sure. I'm like, they'd be like, I just told you my whole life story. I'm like,
Yep. And that's because they can see it on you and they know that you are a safe space to do that. So now can we turn it into a lucrative space instead of it just being cab work? Okay. Can you now the next time somebody say, you know what, I feel real comfortable with you. I feel like I could really tell you everything. Be like, you know what, I have a service. Well, that's what I do. What I do is you can sit up and talk to me about all the sexual stuff you need to talk about. That's my job, to hold your secrets, to hold the space for you because you are holding it. Eighth house is where we have secrets. Okay. It is the hidden stuff. So you can either keep taking this in, and I know you like it. I know you like listening to it anyway, so it ain't bothering you.
I do.
I'm
It's
just
my thing.
it is money. That's what I'm saying. It's attached to
I
money.
just thought about that today. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, either I'm gonna record these conversations, or I said I was gonna offer it as a service. But yeah,
Don't record. Well, you can record them, but record them in private because eighth house is where
right.
it's the private sector of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha,
So
got it.
yeah, now you can record it and set it up to where, and you can send it to them, and that could be something they can,
Right.
if they want it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is your gift. This is your gift to be able to, people already see it. They want to tell you these things anyway. And if you don't use it, then you'll run into some witches and some warlocks, and they'll try to use it. They'll try to use your stuff. So you need to use it.
Okay.
You hear me? Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Holla back. You heard me now. Okay. All right. Now, did I miss anybody else? I don't think did I get everybody? Shamikia, you may be just listening. I don't.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you put your stuff out here?
No.
You just listening in for the night. You don't need me to tell, because we just had it said, you need me to tell you yours or what you need?
Gemini, I kind of go back and forth between the whole and the Placidius, and we had that conversation, but when it's in Placidius, it's more so like in the seventh house. So relationships.
Where's Sag at though?
My Sag is in first/second house, but it's more in the first house when it's in Placidius.
And what does that mean?
In the first house, like it's to me it's the body, what's going on physically. Let me see, first house, personality. That's the first thing that come up for me, like physically. Probably like more so me movement.
I'm waiting on. I'm like, you better say it. You better say it, especially when we just had this conversation. She just
Yeah.
left. She just did a retreat with me on this past weekend. So that first house is your practice, your daily
Yeah.
practice, getting up, making sure you're doing what you know you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Directing my day. Yeah,
Putting
I've
in
been
the work.
doing it. Yep.
Yes. Putting the work in, doing the things that need to be done. You know what I'm saying? With that perspective and making sure that from doing that, that is what's going to make sure that you expand. It's going to make sure that you keep showing up for yourself and doing what you need to do, not just for you, but for all the other things that you need to do as well. You know what I'm saying? But your first house Sag energy is keeping you in the balance and the practice and the perspectives of doing your work so that you can teach others. It's how you lead off. You know what I'm saying? It's that showing up. The same thing I just told Destiny on hers being her North Node in the first house too. Going about, right? Leaving, going places. Well, you on the way to another trip. Are you not?
Yes, I leave on the 30th.
Yes, on the way to the next place to learn the next thing. Because when you go out and learn in this world, your job is to then teach that. You can bring that back and then nurture the community or give it to the people that you want to give it to. But if you don't do it first, then it's impossible for you to be able to do anything else with it. Okay?
Absolutely.
Gemini in the 7th, it's all relationship dynamic, which is again what we're talking about now, which is making sure that we are doing our job as it relates to our values. Okay, we have to be able to have these conversations that we need to have. These relationship agreements are extremely important to all of y'all. If y'all do not have this relationship agreement, I'm going to send it personally again. I'm gonna send it to y'all again. I'm gonna keep talking about this relationship agreement till we are all blue in the face. Okay, why? Because we keep saying that we got it in place, but we got it, but we're not using it. We are afraid. Every time I ask people, have you talked to the people in your life about this agreement? Well, I did, but I don't know how to bring it up. What do you need? So you get, and I'm not talking to you now, Jamaica, I'm talking to all of us. But if we can show up, take our clothes off, okay? Wanna have sex, do all these things, but we don't feel comfortable with having a conversation of the beginning, the middle, and the aftermath. We have to really think about why we see so much trauma going on within us, right? And within our sisters and within just people in general. Because even though if we bring into light the situation that's going on with, again, Sean Combs and the Cassie situation, this is happening on both sides. How was he even able to do this? He was able to do it because some things were done to him, or this is something that he's seen from somewhere else. Okay, so this cycle that we're seeing is mother-son, mother masculine, feminine balance is all over the place. It's all through us, in us, through us, and out around us. You know what I'm saying? These agreements are what's going to uphold our boundaries so we can stop seeing this. Because when these things get off, we're going to check it. The dark feminine in us is going to check it. Okay, so we have to understand that these Gemini perspectives that's coming up from now and this alignment, this straight line that we're having, which is funny because just thinking back to Terrence Howard saying there are no straight lines. And they're not. I agree. There are no straight lines. This alignment that's going to appear to be a straight alignment, right? It's showing us that the ways in which things are linking up is that we have to tell the truth the first time it happens. The first time your boundaries are stepped over and stepped on, you have to check it. If you know you have 5 things in an agreement, they go to hand again. If you know you have 5 things that you know you need to be held on, okay, or that you need and desire in relationship, you need to get all 5. And if all 5 are not showing up, then you need to go back to the table. You need to talk about it. You need to check the problems. We have to check ourselves as mothers. And when I'm not talking about just those of us who have children, we are all mothers. We're all mothering and birthing something. So we have to check the inconsistencies in our mothering. And we also have to check the inconsistencies in our sons and in our daughters. Okay? If you're in a relationship with a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. You have to check this because checking it gives it an opportunity to change. If you do not check it, then you are part of the problem. If we are continuing to let these things surface through, and then we're asking, what did we do wrong? What we did wrong is not checking it. That's what we did wrong. And not being willing to continuously to work on this because we feel like we want to keep the peace. There is no keeping of the peace, as we can see. All it does is grows and festers into bigger problems and bigger issues. That's all that's going to happen. And then we're 5, 10 years down the line wondering why we don't have partnerships. We don't have partnerships because we're all lying. That's why. We don't have genuine relationships because we keep allowing ourselves to settle for things that are not ours. You hear what I'm saying? So as we look at this heavy conjunction of how Venus and Jupiter is coming together in this beautiful moon perspective, it is us being able to say, I have a relationship that's balanced. I have the desires as it relates to, the feminine and the masculine balance. I possess. Okay, so those of you that came to class last month or a few weeks ago, it's time for you to recheck those statements. Okay, recheck your I have statements. Whatever you feel like is missing in today's conversation, whatever is out of balance, okay, it's time for you to possess it. To possess it means that you are standing in the Venus of it and you're allowing Jupiter, because Jupiter and Venus are both in the sign of Taurus. Okay, now it's only going to be in the sign of Taurus for another couple of days. And then Jupiter is now going to go on into Gemini. When it gets into Gemini, we're going to be doing this. Okay, Jupiter and Gemini is, I think I got it. Wait, no, I don't. Wait, I do again. Wait, maybe I do. Okay, so this is the point right here for you to plant seeds for your truest, highest possession, so that when the seeds are planted and you start to go back and forth a little bit, you're not worried. Now it's all experience, right? And you're not worried to check things too, because that is also part of the experience. But if you do not create and solidify these possessionary things that you need, want, and desire from this relationship perspective, then what you're doing is you're setting up a seed to grow for when we get to Sagittarius season of the same traumas that we have been experiencing for over a decade. And we are part of the problem. We collectively, the goddesses in this room, we collectively are part of the problems that we're seeing amongst our sisters, our daughters, and our friends, because we are not checking it. And what I mean not checking it, if you're not doing a relationship agreement and you're not stating your I haves and your I possess, then you're a part of the problem. Do y'all understand that? So all the spaces where your Venus perspectives are showing up. When I told y'all, let me know what y'all got in Venus. Whatever you have in Venus, okay? These are the things that you need to focus on, okay? I need you to focus on them today, okay? So let me skim through. Venus and Gemini, Carissa, that's back and forth, right? Knowing what you want, but it's 2 people in there, right? Sometimes more. So the relationship agreement is going to allow you to say, I want, need, and desire these things, but I'm open, right? Ooh, I'm gonna go see. Oh, that's good. Once you got the agreement down, Kalisha, now you know where your boundaries are. The agreement is for the boundary setting, right? So now you can explore. Without no agreement, you just out here loose. And when you out here loose, you allow anything to happen to you and everybody else, okay? What else? Who else put their Venus down? Put your Venuses down real quick. Venus in Cancer, Sherry, nurturing. 10th house perspective is directly affecting your ability to get to the next level. This is going to be a minute for you to leave this job, Sherry. In a minute. This is happening. We're getting tighter and closer. Okay? So you moving into this working for yourself full time, baby. You are, it's on the countdown. Okay? But the more you tend to work on what this Venus and Cancer energy is, the nurturing of yourself, the listening to yourself, to putting that energy down, the what you want, need, and desire, especially on all fronts, right? Not just in relationships and foundations, but money. What do you have and what do you possess? What is in your possession? What do you want in your possession every month? Okay, because if you already have that and you already birthing that, then leaving this IT perspective and, taking your time back. I have my time. I have the energy. I possess all the time energy I have. Everything I need, I already got. So I don't need to be there. Okay. This is what's going to help you to step into that. Okay. That's also going to nurture that relationship energy, right? Because once you know what you have, the possession that you have within that, and the foundations of your money and those things, it becomes easier for you to allow yourself to attract the relationship energy you need to attract. Okay. All right. Let me go back up. Okay. Venus and Libra, Suki. Balance, okay, between who I am, who we are in the relationship dynamics, okay? All of them. Who are you? And who do I become when I let people have access to me, okay? The balance of that. Making sure that you don't lose yourself. Relationship agreement is going to make sure that you uphold that. You know what I'm saying? So when people start to cross over that line because they feel like you're going to be pliable, which you always have been. You be pliable, okay? If they sway that way, then you sway that way to keep the peace. No more keeping the peace. Be like, no, I'm sorry. This is where I draw the line for this, okay? No more, I can't do that no more. Because when I do that, I lose myself. And then when I lose myself and I go mean on y'all ass, then you blame me. And that don't blame me. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding this right now because I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to let y'all make me be something that I'm not. I am taking care of me, and it's the ways in which I take care of me, okay? What are your, go back to those possession and the I have statements. If you have to move the I haves into the I possess, don't matter, okay? The possessing is stronger, okay? The I have is, okay, this is what I'm pulling down. Possess is on my body. Think about what possessions are, okay? From the perspective of I possess a cup, to my body is possessed with the spirit, right? Same thing. The only difference is the intensity of how we carry it, okay? Jamikia, Venus, and Pisces. So we already know this is that making sure that Pisces has the ability to attach itself, right? So this is about your attachments and detaching, right? Seeing what the attachments are, detaching from that to make sure that you are creating the boundaries that you need to make sure that you're moving into this perspective of having everything. We already worked on that. That's why I told you let them boys go. Okay, go on, let them give to their daddy. It's time for you to go. You got to leave here. Okay, so your energy is letting go of the attachment so that you can now get into a deeper possession with yourself, right? Who am I to me? Because whoever I am to me is going to make sure that I'm creating the healthy foundation I need within my masculine, activating that doggone Lilith, okay? And this page coming out, all the stuff, right? So that you can move into a deeper perspective of your foundations, your Venus and Jupiter expanding, okay? Venus and Aquarius. Aquarius is doing what needs to be done, right? Aquarius is the energy of the future. It's also how you also allow yourself to be loved and loved differently, okay? I got Venus in Aquarius too. And girl, baby, that thing is something else, okay? Because we is woman one day, man the other day, both we is all the things in between, feminine, masculine, the others. You know what I'm saying? All different perspectives, right? So this is making sure we got to really have a strong relationship agreement because when we don't, because of how we do nurture and how we do love outside of those foundations, we can love multiple different peoples in multiple different ways, our friends, families, everybody. But we can also tend to get lost in ourselves and with that, you know what I'm saying? And being those things for other people. So relationship agreement is extremely important to that, okay? And how you expand this into this next chapter. Venus in Leo, heart, okay? So this foundation agreement is by making sure that your heart perspective is being worked on, healing of the heart. Because once you heal the heart, then it allows you to have a better relationship with yourself and allows you to also uphold those things, right? And make sure that you are leading from that perspective, going out and allowing yourself to receive that love, your foundations, your possessions, all the stuff that you want is to be adored, okay? We like to be adored. When we have Venus and Leo, adore me, okay? Me, I'm so beautiful. You know it. You know what I'm saying? But allowing yourself to do that means you have to also allow your heart to be open, okay? Venus in Aries, not with the side. Venus in Aries, you know, it is opposite, right? because
And
Mars,
it's in my 7th house and you know it. So it ain't even in a placement that it need to be in. Deep sigh, ma'am. Heavy sigh.
but it's okay. It's all right, because this is how we're gonna work that thing though, because it's about possessions, right? How you possess it. So even though it is considered out of balance or out on its polar opposite energy, it still likes to play around. Aries still likes playing with Venus. Okay. It's just likes to be a little warish with it. So it's almost like I want to be loved, but I might strike you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Our love would be a little ooh, 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 ooh. Fight with me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So even though you got a little fire in there with that perspective, it's okay, because as long as you understand how to allow yourself to lean back off of it, you know what I'm saying? The beautiful thing, again, is only 6 signs. So the fact that it's Aries behind there, still Libra, you can still choose to be Libra, okay? Choosing to be Libra looks like what? Allowing things to just come, going with the flow of it, you know what I'm saying? Not having to be so directive, right? Aries want to direct it. I'll lead it. Let me do it. I got it. It's me. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to do that. Lean back on it. Leaning back on this, understanding that you have 2 positions that you can play with it. So the side, I understand greatly. But relationship agreement, leading off, that's your lead. Your lead is the relationship agreement, okay? But the balance of that is, I'm not going to do this all the time. Okay. I'm going to leave this right here, but I want the balance. But that means you have to say it, because the Aries is going to jump every time. Ooh, I could do it. I want to do it. No, sometimes don't do it and see what happens. Okay. The balance of it, because it's about possession. So already standing in your statements, I have balance. I have balance in this 7th house perspective where Aries want to run everything. Okay. I ain't going to just be the head butter. I'm going to sit back and lean back. Okay. But lean. So sometimes when you want to see yourself taking charge, I want you to just go ahead and lean back. Just shrink back into this thing. Like, whoo, put my arms up. Okay. Because you already control so much stuff. So having the balance of this energy that comes into balance, that is extremely important. Okay. Venus and Sag energy and Venus. Okay. It's the same thing. Need to go do stuff. Okay. Starting with the possession of it, right? The possession of I possess myself in the spaces of going about, doing certain things, right? Expanding of myself. When I expand, everything and everybody around me expands, okay? That's how it has to be. When I don't go about, you know what I'm saying? I'm not loving myself, and now I'm judging myself, and so I'm judging everybody else. So nothing can get seen. Everything is stopped and blocked, okay? And now I become the heady Gemini, and now I start to just overthink, overprocess, and now I am all over the place. Nothing is happening, okay? So this starts with self-love and exploration. Go do, okay? Go see, go learn, go find out who you are in love with yourself, okay? Relationship agreement. All right, Naima, Venus in Aquarius. Crystal, Venus in Capricorn. So Naima, Venus in Aquarius. You already know, baby, we is some weirdos. You understand? That's just who we are. And when I say we, because I got Venus in Aquarius too, which is weird. Which is okay? But we have to also understand that this is the future. We are in the age of Aquarius. Okay. So our job here is to learn, is to love differently. Okay. And show it differently. It may not always be in relationship energy all the time. Sometimes it's just being in love with things. Okay. Being in love with processes, being in love with creativity, being in love with music, being in love with ourselves, all kind of different things. But having a healthy relationship agreement that allows us to love differently and have a person that shows up in a different type of way. So we're not going to have a structured type of model, okay? That's not what that is. Our possession of the things that we have are very different, to the point where we have to leave room and open to that. We got to be open to how this shows up, okay? And how it can be as it relates to how we are being loved and how we are loving ourselves, okay? Because that's what's going to make us expand. The moment we get out of this traditional of what it's got to look like and what it's got to be, it opens up, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that may be a different relationship model, okay? It may be Holly Styles, you know what I'm saying? We may find ourselves living in a coven this week, and then next week, you know what I'm saying, we living on a farm with some chickens, you know what I'm saying? different. It's just really different. That's me, you, and Monique, all three of us. Okay, we just hop
You
up.
know what? I think it's just confusing all the time about what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I also think that Pisces in the 7th be getting me all.
Yes.
I like a lot of tradition, but then I like a lot of space. So when Monique was like, we need a different house, I was like, oh, yes, separate. We
I'm
do
the
have
same way. I don't want to live with you, okay? Please, because then I can't do everything when we live in the same house. You know what? You can live next door. How about that? You know what? You can live downstairs, and then I can see you. You can come see me. How about this? Live around the corner. I can have a room, and then you
my
have a
space.
room.
It don't mean I don't like you. It just means I like my space.
I think that means I love you more. I think that's what that means. You know what I'm saying? These are the ways in which we have to be, but a relationship agreement has to be in place for that. Because if not, then we look like the bipolar schizophrenic people who don't know what we want. Okay? And Delia, you in there with us too, because having that Aries in the 7th and having that Venus and Aries energy, yes, it's the same way. It's like, wait a minute, I want to love you, but I'm gonna beat you. But if you stay here, go do something else. You know what I'm saying? It's the same energy. So yes, Pisces energy makes you form some forms of tradition, right? The traditional part is the part that you have to really tap into. I'm traditional on this end, but this part I'm not. Okay, tradition means I want some forms of tradition, but I also want you not to be here. Okay, and that's the part where I don't. Okay, and tapping into that, understanding that. Okay, Venus in Capricorn, all all energies and dealing with coming in with the money. Okay, now Venus in Capricorn don't mean that it's gonna necessarily be for love, baby. It ain't love. Sometimes it's tradition. Sometimes it's making sure that my legacy gonna take care. Do you already have the money in place? Do you already have the land? Do you have a house? Okay. Do you have the 401ks? Do you have the insurance policies? Okay. Don't necessarily have to be for love. Okay. Because when you start to get into love, it starts to be a little bit confusing for you, because if it's love, but then there is no 401ks and no foundational system in place, then who are you? Why are you here again? Why am I liking you? I don't really like you. Okay. So it's understanding that your agreements, your possession is understanding that the mate and the energy that you're dealing with in that Venus perspective is them already having these things in place. Okay. It don't mean that you're going, love may not be a part of it. Not y'all. I see y'all go back and forth.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you. Thank you. Because I just want to say, I tell her all the time that she needs some more traditional shit, that she be pretending that she thinks she a Venus in Aquarius, and she a Venus in Capricorn.
No, she wants to be a Venus in Aquarius, but baby, you is not. And what that means is that you may marry the old man that already got the money, Crystal. He got the money, okay? And you don't see him even that much. You may see him a few times a week, okay? He come home, you cook a traditional meal, and then, you know what I'm saying? And then he leaves. He working. He works out of 7 days, he worked 4 or 5 of them, okay? Because that's just, and you get to play with the money and go do all other kind of stuff. But it ain't love, okay? And it also means too, let me go ahead and put this out here, because Venus in Capricorn also means that he may be the one who's in place doing the things, but you may have a little side boo, may have a little side babe that you do love, that you do like, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't the one that got the legacy mindset. He ain't that, okay? And even the Venus and the energy of the Capricorn man, the old man, may have him another little piece too. You don't care. As long as your money is on the deeds and on the things that need to be paid for, baby, that's all that matters, okay? Relax in that thing, okay?
Thank you.
You welcome.
Yeah.
So Venus and Aries, like your friend above you to the right, okay? Now, Venus and Aries ain't necessarily, she don't like to be in Aries, but she plays in Aries, okay? So Venus and Aries means you.
She trouble. She don't got nothing but trouble.
She is a lot of trouble.
all these Oakland girls, we got a different situation going on. I'm gonna just put that out there. That's what you see going on here.
See, Gigi, look. See, Gigi, look.
You have to learn how to be able to, this is what the conversation is about. This is what, see, understand that when we talk about Venus conjuncting with Jupiter, this is Taurus. Okay, so Taurus wants what it wants, baby. Give me me. I told you, if there was a theme of a person that says get somebody else to do it, that is this Venus and Jupiter energy conjuncting together. Okay, look, I just want it. And however I got to have it and possess it, give it to me. Okay. And this is what the conversation is about, because a lot of us get ourselves caught up in this stuff because we think it's got to be a certain type of way. No, once you look at what's in your chart, if you look at what's in your chart and see how that thing is already working and operating, then you could be able to access it easier. That's what the contract is going to help you to do. The contract helps you with that. So when Jamaica, Venus and Aries, okay? Venus and Aries, again, you don't have to do everything, okay? It ain't all on you to do it. Now, you may have a little warish energy in there, and that's okay. But know that at the time periods of when you want that thing to be balanced, you got to lean back, relax back on it, and conveniently choose to activate Libra because it's there for you to do that, okay? Because if you don't do it, you'll be doing everything and then waiting and like, where's mine? They like, well, you doing everything. So why would I show up for you? I don't think you need it. And the person who has everything don't. They just don't, okay? So sometimes you have to play. This is one thing I like about the Libra energy, Venus and Libra energy, and the Venus and Taurus energy, because it plays damsel in distress. Oh my God, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm gonna need you, Venus and Aries people, to employ that, okay? Learn how to be like, oh, even though you know all the stuff, okay? You are an expert in most of the things in life, okay? Act like you don't, especially when it comes down to possessing things that you want, need, and desire, okay? Just lean back on it. That's it, okay? All right, who I miss? Did I miss anybody? I think I got all of the Venuses. Great, good. Now, last, who? Wait, who?
Brandy.
Help her out.
Brandon. Where you at? Brandon, Venus, oh, Scorpio, Venus. Oh, Lord Jesus. It's another one that's just like that Venus and Aries, okay? What I mean by that is Scorpio is very much Mars and Pluto. So it's very much, let me do it. Let me support. I got it. Okay, I got it. But on the flip end of that is, who got you? Who got you on the back end? Okay, if you always got everything, okay? So understand that this level of possession right here has everything to do with you understanding that you have to make sure that your boundaries are tight, okay? Not having boundaries for a Venus and Scorpio person means everybody use everything about you. They want it, they see it, they use it, and it becomes a good thing, okay? Venus and Scorpio is the energy that people look because it's intense too. So it's like, ooh, this is some intense goodness, okay? Venus and Aries is intense too, okay? It's like, it's fiery intense, okay? Whereas the Venus and Scorpio is very water, it's like steam and pressure intensity, but it's like, ooh, that's warm water, that's good, okay? That Aries is like heated water, heated steam, you know what I'm saying? So these energies work very well, but you have to balance them out. So balancing that Venus and Scorpio energy out is making sure when it comes down to it, your boundaries, what you want, need, and desire needs to be in place. And you don't show up unless they all are there. And if you seem like you're having a problem with getting them all there, calling it out. Boom. Hey, what about this? Why this ain't showing up? What's happening? What I do? What did I not say? Am I overdoing it? Okay, pull back. Okay, you gotta learn how to be able to reel it back in on certain things and give it to yourself. One of the important things about Scorpio is either it activates on fear or power. Okay, so whenever it's activating in its fear perspectives, then that's the energy that is calling you to power. You know what I'm saying? So when you pull back and put that energy into yourself, it activates your power principle. Okay. All right. Perfect. Now, last thing, and then I'm gonna let y'all go because we've been on here way longer than I told y'all. See what y'all be doing? This is all y'all. I'm blaming on y'all. It's y'all fault. Okay. The alignment of the Gemini perspectives, right? What is this? Now, On June 3rd, 6 planets are going to align in a straight line, but not really. I want y'all to see that straight line, and I want y'all to bubble it out because everything is 360, okay? Just remember that when you see it, okay? 6 planets are going to all line up in Gemini. So that means mental health is going to be off the chain. Please make sure between now and then you are doing all the things, okay? So start 1, do your relationship agreement. 2, make sure you are checking the post every day. If you are not following me on IG, please send me a message so I can make sure y'all are following me so you can get these daily posts because you're already paying for it. So you may well go ahead and get it, okay? So send me the message and I'll send y'all that. And then the 6 planets are, of course, the sun already. But there's going to be Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are all going to be in a straight alignment, okay, in Gemini. What does that mean? Okay. Now, it means a lot of things. It means, first of all, we got a whole, a whole perspective of nothing but Gemini perspective that's all coming in. Don't focus so much on the straight line part of it. That's what they want you to focus on. I want you to focus on how that is affecting your ability to process in your mind. When that happens, it's going to be hard to focus. Okay, so any projects you got going on can be a little bit difficult to see yourself through the end of it. That is okay. Don't even focus on the inability to finish the projects as it is your ability to tap in. This is what I mean about your mindset is going to activate you into the next dimension, okay? Your job is to use that alignment to activate parts of you that are dormant. So when you start to feel yourself being pulled in different directions, I want you to tap into whatever it is that you like. Wait a minute, it's been a long time since I danced. And get up, turn some music on and dance. Oh, wait a minute, it's been a long time since I cooked me something and cook you something. Whatever that, when you start to feel this energy of feeling like you're all over the place, whatever spirit attunes you to, that's what I need you to focus on. Why? Because that is the activation point that's going to shift you into the next dimension. Just something just that simple. Why? Because the portals are already open. They want you to focus on this, and I'm telling you to spread it out. In the middle of this spread is you. You're in the middle of this, okay? They want you to focus on all the planets being in alignment. Well, all the planets are affecting you in some kind of way, right? It's affecting your Gemini placements the strongest, but it's also affecting all the Sag stuff that we just talked about. So this is the balance of going out, doing things you need to do, your creative talents, your mental health, your conversations, your relationship agreements, your possessions, the things that you have. All of this is coming to an alignment that's saying, if you're ready for this, you can dimension shift. So your dreams are going to be loud, okay? So loud that you may not even understand them. Again, write it down, write the details down, because even though you don't understand it today or by June 3rd, I guarantee you by the time we get to Sagittarius season, you will. Everything is going to be very clear because you're going to birth something. The seeds are going to be sprouted by that point, okay? So do more studying on that. So what I mean is, as we get closer to it, y'all know I'm going to already bring y'all in. But I wanted to already give you the point of all the planets that's going to be there. Mercury, Mars, Jupiter. We already talked about that. Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. That's over half of all the planets. So what are all the planets doing? Aligning themselves for what? Creativity of what? Dormant talents. Gifts and talents that have been dormant. They're coming online. So this could be your psychic abilities. This could be your clairvoyance, your ability to hear things. Or you may be thinking about somebody and they may call your phone. But now it could be, not only you thinking about them, you thinking about them and what they saying to you. And they call you and be like, girl, you know what? I was just thinking about that trip we took. Or I was just thinking about that conversation we had and how that really, you be like, girl, I was thinking about that same doggone conversation or that same trip. You ready to go take a trip? Because if it's a Sagittarius placement, maybe it's time for y'all to go take a journey together. You know what I'm saying? If it's conversations, maybe it's something intellectual where they have not felt like they can talk to anybody else, but they talk to you about it and you talk to them about it. So these gifts and talents are coming online because we are literally shifting dimensions now. Okay, all the stuff work we've been doing this year, the truth telling, all the stuff we breaking into is aligning us to a different dimension. Okay, y'all got me? Let me see if it hold my hand up now. See, now I know where the hand at now. Oh, there it is. Wait. No hand now. See that? Get to the end and now I don't want to put no hand up. Okay. Great, good. Any questions? Y'all got it. Y'all clear. I'm sending y'all relationship agreement for y'all to do today, tomorrow. So between when you get the playback, just know, get the relationship agreement. Most of y'all already got the agreement. Just do it. Do the agreement before y'all come back. Okay? Yeah, you're going to get the recording. Don't you worry about that. The agreement, do the agreement before y'all come back, especially if y'all are on the 2024 chart group. Your session's getting ready to come up. It's going to be time for you to book your next session. I need them agreements before. I need them agreements in June. Okay, your sessions are going to be in July, but I need your agreements in June so that I can go over them and so that we can talk about them. So again, I'm going to do a class. I'm thinking about doing a 4-week class where we just meet once a week and just go over the specific details. Okay, so we go over the specific details. That way you know how you're working on between now and Libra season. Libra season is when the next relationship portal opens up. The big relationship portal opens up. Some of us are going to go into the relationship portal now, but most of us are going to go into the relationship agreement as we go into Libra season, which is the 7th house dynamic. Okay. Yes, ma'am, Jamikia.
When you say that you want agreement by June, are you talking about the one with ourselves? Because I already did it.
Well, I ain't talking to you then if you already did it now.
Okay. All right.
If you did it, I ain't talking to you. They know who I'm talking to. The ones who haven't turned it in is looking at me right now. They know who I'm talking to. Okay. So if you did it already, I'm not talking to you. Okay. But the ones of you that have not done it, relationship agreements, I need 2 of them. The first agreement is the relationship agreement with yourself, because you are in a primary relationship with yourself first. Okay. It's you and you. The second agreement is with you and this potential partner that y'all claim y'all want. Now, this Venus and Aries people, you know, you may have to do more than 2. You may have to do.
Leave me alone, Gigi. Leave me alone. Jamaica been I said, I'm gonna say it. Leave me alone.
I just said, some of us may have to do multiple agreements, but if I can at least get 2 to start out with, that would be great. Okay. 1 for you. And then 1, Monique, you are not good on a relationship. No, you are not. So that is a lie. I don't know what
so wait a minute. So I hear y'all talk about all of this Aries and everything. What about with the Gemini? Like,
you already know this Gemini is 2 people initially. Okay. So you are you go ahead and join yourself to this group of confusion. Okay, not confusion, confusion. Okay. So, Monique, you ain't good on the relationships, okay? So you can go ahead and scratch that off. Why you put that in my chat, I don't even know why you put that in there, okay?
I don't either, because I be watching Monique and them posts, baby. I be watching.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah, hang it up.
Nobody's getting out of this. Nobody in this room. Do y'all all hear me? Everybody in here, even the ones who got their beautiful pictures up, because I still see your faces, even though you got pictures up. I'm gonna need y'all to understand that we are all having to do this, okay? Every last one of us in here, I need agreements, okay? These agreements are so that we can keep ourselves checked and we can start to check these energies in us so that we can, again, check all the entities on the outside, okay? Sean Combs can't get through stuff if we got these agreements. You understand? Energies like that cannot get through. We got agreements, because when we start to do agreements, then what happens? Everybody starts to do agreements. We are trailblazers. We're setting the foreground of what has to happen, right? So when we start to do this for ourselves, everybody comes online and do this, okay? Y'all got me? Not darkness. I am done with y'all. Do y'all hear me? Y'all is just on something else tonight. This Gemini Sag got y'all in a whole different perspective, and I'm gonna need y'all to come out of there. You understand? This is what happens when you put a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old in the room together. Okay, this is exactly what's happening. The agreement need to be done. Okay. All right. I'm gonna end our recording.